Okay. Do. All right. Let's wait for everything to fill in. Start coming in. What's up? All right. Oh.
Oh, goodness. Hello there, Big Tall Cowboy.
Yo, what up? Hold on one second. Let me turn the volume down up in this bitch.
Can I get out and put my avatar up here? And can you bring me back in? I didn't mean to show up with no avatar.
Sure. I'm sorry. What is it you're asking me to do? Drop you and then bring you back in?
Well, I'm gonna drop myself, and I'm gonna bring myself back in.
Oh yeah. Okay, sure.
Hi.
Yes. Hello. Is this Manaj Roy?
Yes, yes.
Hey, how's it going, Manaj?
So I would like to talk. It's going good. So I would like to talk about some Red Pill serials that I have been watching. These are mostly Pakistani serials. Okay, on YouTube. So it shows about friend zone, female friend zone, and gold digging female, what they are, and how a person reacts to them.
Okay. Hold on 1 second. I want you to hold
Okay,
on.
so
Hold
okay,
on for 20 seconds. Hold on 1 second. I have to
okay, okay.
grab something here. Okay. All right. It always takes me a second. Okay, so let me ask you, are you a MGTOW guy?
Yes,
You are a MGTOW.
yes.
Okay. Oh, I see Space Jew is back. I'm gonna let Space Jew in right now.
Well, hello there, Big Tail Cowboy. Thank you for having me. And Mano Joy Roy, I work with a lot of Nepalese people. What is your origin story?
See, origin means you want to know what story I have for myself or what I have seen on
Yeah, I just want to
TV
know what
series.
your heritage is. Like, are you from India? Are you from Nepal?
Yes, yes, I'm from India. I'm
All
from
right,
India.
all right, cool. Are you in India right now? Are you living there full time?
Yes, yes, I live full time in India.
All right, so what do you have to say to us about the MGTOW community?
Okay, see, right now MGTOW is not that much popular in India, but there are a lot of problems that is happening. Okay,
All
like
right, I
divorces
want to
and
hear
all
you.
that thing.
You have the
Okay, so I
floor.
have seen. y- Yes,
Go on.
can you repeat that? Okay,
I want you
so
to
I have seen.
tell me. I want you to tell me how MGTOW relates to India, please.
Okay, what I'm saying in India is the same thing, same thing of female nature. Like most of them, what they do is they do gold digging. Then at the age of 40, 45, they take a divorce.
So you're
Okay,
telling me that
uh,
the Indian girls are giving their virginity to guys who are very good looking at a
no,
very young
very
age.
rich, very,
Yes, at a
very
very
rich, very
young age,
rich.
they're being sexually active at a
No,
young
no, no,
age in
no,
India.
no, 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 not like that. They marry rich guy, not
They
like that.
marry a rich guy. Now in India, are you still doing the caste system where a father would pick a mate for a daughter? Are you still doing that, or is that not happening anymore in today's day
Then
and time?
the same thing is happening. Same thing is happening. So what they do
Boys,
is they pick.
I
Yeah.
have I have to check out because for some reason everything is running together here. But the way this sounds would be the perfect intro to a movie.
I don't know
But
what you're talking about. Maybe an
I got
indie
to check
movie.
out because it's all running together. There's something
Thank
up
you,
with my phone.
Angler. Thank you,
So,
Angler
all
Mixer.
right,
I
I'll
really
see y'all later.
appreciate it. You have a good one. Now, Man Joy Roy, I want you to continually explain to me, how does MGTOW relate to Indian culture?
Okay. What is happening is this is my personal story. It happened with one of my cousin brother. Okay. So he earns in city. Okay. He has his home in village. You understand village, like, okay, where you have means those are less expensive place where you stay. Village where you have like what you called where earning is entirely dependent on farming. Okay, so they earn very less. So this guy, he came to city and he started earning his living, and he makes like good amount of money.
So
Okay,
you're
so he
saying
got
that the
married.
hold on, let me pause you for a second. I'm very sorry. So what you're saying is the Indian banker is making more money than the farmer from India who's not a banker. which is the same problem we
Uh,
have in the first world.
no, not banker. I'm not talking about banker. I'm talking about a story of my cousin brother.
Yeah, but your cousin's brother went off to work for bankers in a bank to trade money, as opposed to your other person you're talking about who is living an agricultural life.
All right. Anyway,
No, no.
let me interrupt.
Okay.
Let me interrupt all of you. So
Thank you.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What's your name again, partner? Manaj. I'm sorry, I forgot your name. The Indian guy.
Okay. Yes.
What's your name again, partner?
Manoj Roy.
Right, Manoj Roy. Okay, so Manoj Roy, did you essentially want to tell us a story right quick?
Yes, yes, yes. It's a personal story about my cousin brother. So I want to talk about that. So what happened is he went to city to earn his living. He started earning good. Okay. So he went to he was going for a marriage. Okay. So he chose a girl. The girl's father said, okay, we would like to give a girl to you. Okay. They both got married. After that, he told that I will keep you in village. I can't take you in city. So within 3 months, the girl started asking for a divorce.
It's
So
called
they are only
geomaxing.
interested
We
in
call that
benefit. No,
geomaxing in
if she's
America.
getting any benefit,
So what you're trying to
okay.
explain is the way that we
So
say if
what is
you allow. I'm very sorry to interrupt you, but I have a very important point to make. You have to keep the poor woman from the third world country in her world. What you're saying is there's this banker guy who's having a relationship with a girl who is the daughter of a farmer, and she wants to leave her in the farm. Essentially, if you're an American and you marry a Russian girl and you bring her to America, she is going to become an American. And a lot of black pill and MGTOW people say leave the foreign girl in her own country. So what you're saying is 100% legitimate, but we've already been over this in the MGTOW and black pill community years ago, and I appreciate it. I appreciate you reiterating that.
okay?
Okay, well, I appreciate that too. But hey, go ahead, finish your story.
Okay, so what happens is he took him to city, okay, for like 2 3 months. Then he told like I can't keep you in city because it's very expensive to manage a family in city. All he does is he has his own shop, manufacturing unit where he works, okay, and he maintains that order. Okay, so he told her that I can't maintain a family in city. You have to stay in village. I'm ready to give you money. I will send money from city. Okay, so you have to manage family in village. She started creating problem after that. When he kept her in village, she started creating problem and started blaming him that you don't have enough money. Wherever you want to stay, I want to stay with over there only. You need to keep me wherever you go. She started creating a lot of problems. So within 3 to 4 months, she filed for a divorce. And within my resources, I got to know family resources, family friend circle, that the female initiated divorce because her mother asked her to do so. Okay, so her mother only taught her how to get out of that situation.
You can't get out of that
Okay,
situation. What you did is explain to me a belated version of Western society. You're saying that Eastern society is finally keeping up with Western society, and the only thing I can advise you to do is listen to other people, and it's thousands of hours of people saying this, on how to deal with the question that you have in hand in Western society. But because you're from Eastern society, the only way to answer your questions is for you to reach out to Western society and listen to 1,000 hours of them explaining you what to do. 'Cause I would tell you this,
absolutely right.
but there's a
Let me,
lot more resources that you can
I'm sorry.
access.
If I may, let me interrupt. I can't help but notice. I do see Mr. Forma. I do see Mr. Forma in the in the. Sorry, I'm a little under the weather in the comments section. Mr. Forma, I've been trying to have a formal Forma interview for a long time. If you want to call in, I would be happy to have like a panel instead of like a formal interview. I'd like to have maybe a panel discussion. I'm a little sick, so maybe the other boys can.
And I don't mind being here. I will sit quietly in the background because I don't know what your guys' discussion is going to be about. So I won't.
Anyway, yeah, Mr. Forma, it would be a pleasure if you want to call in. I'd be happy to just disseminate your story. I've listened to many of your videos. I know a little bit about your story, but if you want to share it, who is that? I'm getting a lot of residual noise in the background.
Testing.
Okay. Yeah, I hear you, Frank. Okay, Minaj Roy, can you hear me? Can you finish up your story?
Yeah, this is the story. Okay, so they got a divorce and he's living his own life. It has been like past 5-6 years. He's still not married.
I'll
So-
make my own way home. Hey guys, can you hear me?
Polska.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, all right. So I don't have to plug my mic in. All
All
right.
right, what's the topic?
Well, okay, so I wanted this Minaj guy to finish his story, but everyone keeps fucking interrupting him. If you just let him
What's
finish
the
his story.
topic of his story? Can you give me a synopsis of the topic of his story so we can be prepared?
All right. Who's the other guy? I remember his voice. You were on Mr. Mitchell's channel. Who are you?
Yes. Yeah, Manoj Roy. Yeah, I was on the channel.
The other guy.
Okay, so Minaj Roy. So my understanding is okay. So yeah, I'm sorry. Was it your cousin? You said your cousin.
Yeah,
So you're
cousin,
trying to
cousin,
You're trying to
brother.
tell us. You're trying to present to us a classic MGTOW story. Your cousin gets married. He's working in the city. She's in the suburbs, or I guess you call it the village. So it's supposed to be outside the city.
No suburbs. It's a village. It's not
I know,
suburbs.
I know.
Suburb is still
I
a
know.
posh area. It's a village.
No, I know.
Story, an oofy doofy story, but go on.
And then he's foolish enough to marry her. And then she, of course, after getting married, she starts becoming demanding. How does this end? You said she divorces him?
She what she did is she started creating problem and starts blaming him. And a lot of females, exactly my parents and many other relative female, even they start blaming that guy. That if he doesn't earn enough, why did he marry that girl? If he can't keep him in city, why did he marry that girl? He never made such promise to that girl that he's going to keep her in city.
So you're basically saying the same old law of MGTOW, one of the basics. This is 101. This is before
Oh
university.
my God, it's all you guys back in here. I'm going to leave and grab some food and
No, it's the Polska.
I'm going to jump back in like a half hour. It's going to take me about a half hour to get home, all right?
No subway. Okay, so basically what our gentleman here is saying is the absolute norm for a MGTOW philosophy or a red pill or a crimson or whatever you want to call it philosophy. I'm surprised that he had 3 months, because usually it's 1 year to 4 years. Sorry, 6 months to 4 years. Those are what the statistics say. That's usually how long a woman will tolerate a man before she starts jumping on someone else. That's usually how long it is.
No, yeah, I understand what you're saying, but she had an intention of staying in cities. So she came in with an intention of staying in a city. So she thought that she got cheated. It's not that she got cheated. She came.
Girl who only stays in the city is because she has youthfulness. They're going to go and revert back to living in the country after they're over the age of 25 once they hit the wall. The city only benefits girls from the age of 14 to the age of 24. After that, the country benefits them.
Okay.
And that relies very much so on the Indian culture. Inside of the Indian culture, you have to deal with the fact that women are slowly transitioning from their fathers who know best, picking the mate for the daughters, to having the daughters, like in Western culture, pick their own mate. And everyone can contest that the father of a daughter has a better ability to picking the mate for his own daughter as opposed to a girl being able to pick her own mate. And that is a transition that you're seeing happen in India right now, which has already happened over the last 50 years in America.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. But the thing is, over here, what I'm saying is, even the father is supportive of this action taken by female.
I have
Okay.
seen
The
Indian fathers give $50,000 to their son, not their daughter for dowry, but $50,000 to their son to go climb Mount Everest, because climbing Mount Everest is still very prestigious inside of the Indian culture. And I have seen Indian fathers do that for their son and give dowry to their son. So what I am stating outright is the Indian old culture is crumbling the same way you see the American culture crumbling 50 years ago, and it's not gonna be able to be stopped. It's gonna happen no matter how much we talk about this. It's happening.
Agreed.
Yeah, that's true. One more thing is that the boy gets blamed for it, for marrying that girl. You know, over here, almost every female.
In India too, but have you seen the way that the Pakistani men treat the women's? They beat the living fuck out of the women in Pakistan. So in modern India, the males being blamed, but in old India and modern Pakistan, the man is the one that's persecuting the woman. And right now you're seeing a flip of that in your culture, which has already happened in Western culture over 50 to 90 years ago.
50 to 90 years
Yes.
So it's happening in India, but it's happening more sharply. It's happening more apparently. It's happening more obviously inside of Indian culture.
Yes, it is happening.
But you'll see
And this is a recent 5-6 year backstory.
the same 60 years that took in America for the same thing to happen is only going to take 6 years inside of India.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
this is.
I'm gonna say this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, hold on. Wait. Stop. I just want Manoj Roy to finish up his story. Did you have anything else you wanted to add? You were interrupted You were interrupted so many times.
Okay. I'm saying the same kind of story repeated with many of my friends as well. The same thing is happening with many of my friends as well. Many time, they have a kid, they still want to get out of that relationship.
So what you're saying is Western culture, the TikTok culture, the YouTube culture is getting into the heads of your average Indian female living.
No. Stop. See, he's not saying any of that. You're saying that. I'm saying let him in his own words tell his story. Space Jew.
I mean, I might be fine, but what I'm trying to do is not lead him in a malicious way. I'm trying to lead him into type of exposing how he truly feels, to where he can relate to someone type way. It's not.
Yeah, no. I understand that.
I do appreciate it, but I'm not being malicious in this act. But I understand.
I don't think you're being malicious. I just think your English is better than his. I think I want to let him speak and finish his story.
I can learn from him too. I really do. I really am actually interested in what he's saying, because I can truly learn from people.
Sure. Anyway,
Okay.
if you want to take another couple minutes, Manoj Roy, please finish up your story, and please, everyone, allow him to speak.
Yes, yes. The thing is that this thing happened. She took a divorce. The boy is fine with it. Okay. So there was no means whatever she brought in dowry, it was written back to her. Okay. And the boy is fine with it. The boy said, from now onwards, I'm not interested in getting married. Like, I'm done.
Good.
I'm done with that
sounds
shit.
great.
So I'm done with this thing and I don't want to deal with it anymore because he gets blame from everyone.
Okay,
Every
if I could
female
ask
and
you,
even yes.
Manaj Roy, if I could ask you a couple questions. And by the way, I'm hearing lots of residual noise. I'm hearing a lot of residual noise in the background. Whoever that is,
I'm on
noise
mute
in your
right
background.
now. If you're not participating, just hit the mute button.
Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of residual noise.
I muted my mic.
Not from me, brother.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now is it gone?
Yeah.
It's gone now. Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's picky.
Okay. Hold on. Now is it gone?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, I don't know. It's no, it's not completely gone. But I just like giving people the opportunity to finish their story. Okay, so Manaj Roy, if I can ask you one or two more questions before I kick you out, can you talk just for a second, just about the what we can call men's rights or men's issues, men's grievances in India? From what I'm hearing, in India, it's a real big problem. I'm actually hearing MGTOW in India is huge.
I don't know about that, how huge it is, but the thing is, I've seen such story in my own means in my own cousins and relatives. So after getting red pill, you can see what the true side of the story is. What is the truth behind that story is. Else you would be just believing the woman and the society. Society keeps its own what you call its own point, right?
Yeah, no, of
That
course.
injustice is done.
I've never been to India. My understanding is that India is very, very gynocentric. I've heard certain stories of not just men, but the family, a husband and the family going to jail because of
Yes. That's true. That's true.
right, and that's true. That doesn't happen here in the U.S. If a man and a woman are married and the wife gets upset, she can't throw, her brother-in-law and her father-in-law and the mother-in-law. She can't just throw everyone in jail. But there's a different situation going on in India. I understand you guys are different religion, different culture. You guys still have dowry. You just brought it up. You guys still have dowry. Technically, you guys got rid of the caste system. Technically, you guys got rid of the caste system, but I hear the caste system is still kind of
Not caste system. No, it's not exactly caste system. What is it? It's plain golding, means plain and simple golding. Arranged marriage is like that only. Okay, means with my cousin, this is what happened.
Marriages, right.
So this is what happened with my cousin.
Isn't it also true you guys still have like the Brahmins or like the untouchables and these people supposedly of lower caste?
Yes, but they are diminished. Those things are almost diminished. No one consider.
But there's a lot of lizards in control of everybody, not just the Indians, but even the whites. There's a bunch of lizards in control of everybody. Sorry for jumping in.
Of course, Space Jew, of course I let you in, but I don't necessarily agree with everything that you talk about. You talk about the reptilian humanoids, things like that David Icke talks about. I don't know that I necessarily have proof of any of that. So I'd be very careful. I'm always very careful about asserting.
And I appreciate your skepticism, and I would never force anything other than that. And I don't mean to jump in, but go on.
No, that's okay. All right, Manaj Roy, I'm going to kick you off. Do you have any?
Okay, no problem.
in the future, because it just, I don't know, it just didn't turn out well this time. In the future, if you want to call in, I wouldn't mind doing an entire interview with you, like a
Okay, no problem on that.
formalized, especially if you are a MGTOW. How old are you? Are you at least 25?
I'm 35. 35.
Yeah, you're 35. Yeah, no, that's a real good age. Yeah, no, I definitely want to interview you. Are you married? Do you have kids?
Okay. No,
Are you
no,
married?
not married.
Oh,
No,
you're not married. You don't have kids. Yeah. Please, get at me. I want to interview you in the future. And your English is pretty good. I have to admit. I always get
Okay.
frustrated when I just can't understand people. But your English is definitely good enough. I like it. All right. Well, listen, Manoj,
Okay.
I'm going to kick you off. I'm actually going to dedicate the rest of this interview to Mr. Forma. Mr. Forma, are you there?
Okay, no problem. Okay, I'm leaving. Okay, no problem.
Big
All right,
Cal
take care,
Big
bro.
Shay,
Bye.
before you address Mr. Forma, can you give me some time for you to interview me? I would really appreciate that.
Well,
In
no.
the future.
Yes. In the future, yes. In the future, yes.
Because I don't like being overbearing all the time, because most of the time when I show up on streams, I tend to come off as overbearing. I would appreciate in the future for you to interview me so I don't have to come off of
Yeah, no, I
as
have no problem with that.
overbearing.
In fact, I do. In fact, I do want to interview you, especially if you claim to be Red Pill and or MGTOW. And I
I
do
don't know
understand
what
that.
I am. I don't really claim anything. I don't, but we'll get into that.
Okay,
in
well,
the
let me say this. You had previous channels. I followed some of
Yes.
your work.
Thank
I
you.
understand
I
that
really
you've
appreciate
gone
it.
through some changes and all that.
A
So
lot
maybe
of
we could talk
changes,
about that.
yes.
But right now, just
But
because
that'll take an hour. That'll take an absolute hour of your time if you want to get into the religious aspect of it. But if you want to get into the MGTOW aspect of it, I can do that in 10 minutes or less.
Right. No, I
Yeah.
understand that, but my answer to you is no. It has nothing to do with you. It has
As far
everything
as
to do
what?
with.
I mean, I'm not upset about it, but like, I don't
No,
really
right.
care.
No,
I'm not
please.
trying to help anybody. I really am. I want to make that
Okay.
very.
I understand that. I understand that. Well, first off, let me preface all this by
No,
saying
you understand a lot about me. You understand a lot about me. I understand that. And
I was going to say, let me preface all this by saying I respect you. I don't agree with everything that you say, but I just want you to know that I respect
I
you.
wouldn't want someone to
that
agree with everything I said.
Okay, very good. So that being said, the only reason why I'm choosing Mr. Forma over you is because Mr. Forma, I've had a very, very hard time getting a hold of him.
Are you
Also,
talking about tonight? I'm not talking about tonight. I would lovely in 2-3 weeks from now for you to interview
Sure.
me. It's not like a night.
That sounds
thing.
good. That sounds
Yes.
good. That sounds good.
I will sign off. I will
I'm
sign
even-
off, and I will dedicate. And thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. And in the future, 1 to 2 weeks from now, I would love to have a dedicated conversation with you.
We shall. I think I'll enjoy it very much. Also, it seems like are you a little maybe inebriated right now?
I'm always inebriated. I'm an all-day drinker. I do a
sound
lot
like
of
it.
cocaine.
No.
I do cocaine.
No.
I love cocaine. I do a lot
No.
of hallucinogens, LSD.
Okay.
mushrooms.
All right. We'll
I'm
talk
very-
again.
I'm
I'll hit you up.
very
I'll hit you
open
up.
with my drug usage. I'm very
Get at
open
me.
with
All right,
my
man. I'm
drug
removing you from the stream. All right, man. Get at me.
That's good. Allegedly, right? Okay.
Allegedly, right? Why can't he just say allegedly? Just trying to keep it real good. Okay. Mr. Forma, are you there, sir?
Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, Mr. Forma. I can hear you perfectly. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, I can hear you. I can't see my icon, so I didn't know if I was on the show.
Yeah, no, I also cannot see your icon or your sigil, but that's okay. As long as I see that the screen is split into thirds, which means that there's a third party, and then Frank is in the middle. I don't even bother messing. I don't
okay.
toggle with the controls or anything. I just keep it
All right,
real
that's
simple.
cool. As long as we can talk, that's fine.
Right, exactly. Yeah, no, it's I couldn't word that any better. So it's been a long time since I've spoken with you. Of course, I've been following your channel for years. I know more than once I've asked you for a formal interview. I am a little under the weather, but in fact, you might be able to tell from like the cadence or like the declension in my voice. I'm a little under the weather, but I'm good enough for like an interview if you are, if I can if
Yeah,
I
that's fine.
can
Yeah, that's fine. I just gotta keep my voice down.
have you bear my terrible voice.
Yeah, that's fine. I just gotta keep my voice down a little bit, but yeah, we can talk. No problem.
Okay, and yeah, you don't have to keep your voice down. Or do you mean like on your end, like you got a
Yeah,
baby in the
yeah.
background or something?
No,
Oh, okay,
no, not a baby, but just on my end, I have to kind of keep it down a little bit.
sure.
But
Okay, I totally
yeah.
understand. In fact,
So,
I will also keep my.
what would you like to know?
Okay, yeah, okay, yeah, okay. Let's do like a formal interview. So again, I have followed your content for I don't know years. I remember my very first trucking job. You were one of the very first. I would binge on your videos, and I'd be
Awesome.
driving around the city. Yeah, right. And I don't know. I just want to do a formal interview with you. I've done interviews with like I don't know at this point probably more than 15 or 20 people. Can you? So I know that you're a MGTOW, but let's say within a week, within 10 days, somewhere between like 200 and 400 people will hear this interview. Maybe half of them,
Yeah.
most of them, some of them, they don't know
Well, I'm
you. So
glad
can you
that.
introduce yourself?
Okay, well, I'm just a guy out here known as Mr. Former, and the reason why I started making content a couple of years ago is because I was just a guy watching, a red pill guy, just watching these videos, and I said to myself, a lot of this stuff is pretty boring. Let me put my spin on it. And so I just decided to make some videos, and lo and behold, people enjoyed it, they liked it. And plus, I also had, I had some things I wanted to get off of my chest. I'll tell you the truth. I started making videos not at first, not to help people. I was doing these videos because I was talking to myself. So I was helping myself first, and inadvertently, I was helping people out there in the world. You know what I'm saying? Because when I first
Absolutely.
started going, because what it was, you get red pilled and you understand what's going on. You get the red pill rage. And for me to work out my rage was to vent out and to share my feelings and experiences
Yes.
with the people. You know what I mean? Or basically
Um,
just, I was talking to myself about myself to help myself, which helped other people. And I'm glad that people enjoyed my content. You know, I'm very happy about
Sure.
that.
Yeah. Okay. So what I would say to that is I completely agree. In fact, I made a video about what you just spoke about. I call it I can't remember the title, but it was one of my longer videos. It was like 20-minute video. I was talking about how what is it? I'm sorry, I can't remember. I think it was called Mig. I'm sorry, I'm a little inebriated myself.
No problem.
Was it cognitive behavioral therapy?
Mhm.
God damn it. Okay, you know what the problem is? Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Part of the problem is I lost my train of thought because Polska Bob is calling me right now on my actual phone. Okay, anyway, so um, right, okay, so the point I was trying to make was you were talking about right now how you were essentially talking to yourself, and I was likening that, or in my mind that clicked. That's almost like cognitive behavioral therapy. I do. This is therapy to me. Um, you know, I,
Yeah. And
I
yeah,
I don't know how else to put it. I literally
I
feel
get it.
better after talking to other people about similar problems that they have.
Yeah, because I'll tell you this, cowboy. Like I would make a video and then I would listen to it twice because it would make me feel good. Like, you know what I mean? Because like even though if I wasn't particularly going through that at that time, it's just that it's in the back of my mind and I know that people go through these things. So I would say that and then I would listen to it and it would make me feel good. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna tell you guys too, the Just in Case You Miss Being in a Relationship series was also for
That's my.
me.
I was gonna say that's my favorite. That
That was
yeah.
that
I
was
love
that
that.
that that was also for me to keep me on the right path, to remember that, you know, it's just gonna happen again and again and again. Don't be insane. I mean, it may not happen in a month, a year, 3 years, but it's definitely gonna happen again. So I
Okay,
needed those
if
reminders.
I if I may interrupt you, okay, let's do a very quick like who, what, when, where, why. Okay, so who, right? You're Mr. Forma. What are you doing? You're a MGTOW guy. Do you call yourself a MGTOW or do you call yourself a red pill? Because your name is Mr. Forma. You don't have
Yeah.
MGTOW in your name.
No, I don't have to because I live this lifestyle. I don't have to, you know what I mean? I live this. And see,
Okay.
but the thing about it is that first I'm red pilled. I'm a red pill guy because I've been
Sure.
doing a lot of research. I
Sure.
do a lot of research on a lot of things.
Right,
So I
right. No,
know,
right. No, I agree.
yeah, so I could talk about a numerous subjects, but
Right,
the way
right. No, it gets very expansive.
yeah,
You get into
but
the
the way,
government,
yeah,
women,
but the
psychology,
way,
drugs,
exactly,
money.
but the way I choose to live my life is going my own way, is with this philosophy, and it helped. You know what I mean? And I love it. You know, it's freedom. It really is.
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree. I want to very quickly before we move on, I want to highlight. A. So MGTOW Biologic says, yeah, it's part of the processing. I think he's talking about what you and I were talking about, the this idea of like you're making videos and it's sort of like again, I call it cognitive behavioral therapy. Yeah, right. It helps you integrate, what has happened to you, or whatever you want to call it, cope with the trauma sort of thing.
It helps you.
Okay, so
I would say it helps you actualize you know what I mean, what happened to you, and how to move on from there, and how to heal. Because number one, guys,
I
gotta
agree.
remember, MGTOW is about healing. You know, a lot of people don't stress that in their content enough, but I'm telling you guys, MGTOW is not just about going your own way and walking away from the situation. It's about healing yourself. So that way, you know what I mean, you can become whole again, man. You know what I'm saying? So you're not broken down by all of this shit. So you can sit back and look at it and you can laugh at it because guess what? You're healed. It can't hurt you anymore. It can't do anything to you anymore. And you know what I mean? And if you was to go back and get into that situation, like, you know, such as some brothers have done, but you know, you've got your armor and your sword and your weapons. You know what to do. You know how to fight it off if you choose to get in that battle again. You know what I mean? But the safest way is to just not even, not even do it. But if there's those men who do choose to do that, at least they're armed. You know what I mean? At least they have their weapons, with this
sure.
MGTOW
They have the
philosophy and this
information. They know statistically. Sure.
exactly. They're not just going out there naked like how we were before, because we didn't have this. We didn't know. So that's why we had to get this content and get red pilled and understand it, whatever. But now, if you notice, this red pill philosophy and the MGTOW philosophy is pretty much getting ingrained into the subculture. It really is, because I hear kids out here in the streets talking about, bro, stop Will Smithing, stop simping, and stop Will Smithing. And I'm like, holy crap! I just made a video and I was saying stop Will Smithing. Those kids watched my video,
Sure.
and they walked right by me. They have no idea who I am, and they copied. They said something that I said in the video. I'm like, holy crap! You know what I mean? It's getting ingrained in the kids. So it makes me feel good because it's like, at least I know that a lot of these young boys out here are getting their information, and it's like in their own little underground pop culture. It's in their minds. It's what they're, you know what I mean? So the little kids are being armed with it. So they're going into the, you know what I mean? I'm just glad that
Yes.
a
Yes,
lot of,
absolutely.
like, okay, a lot of guys, a lot of young men are still going to be blue pilled and still have to go through all the crap. But there's going to be a much bigger majority of guys who don't fall into what we fell into. You know what I mean? And at least if they do, like we said before, they're armed. So
Do you
you know what I
mind?
mean?
Do you mind if we change tack a little bit and talk about your personal story? Do you mind sharing personal
No, I
details
don't
about
mind.
your life?
No, I don't mind.
Okay. So, you own a business, is that correct? You own a deli?
No, I'm half owner of a Indian Indo-Chinese restaurant.
Oh, a restaurant. A restaurant.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. For some reason, I thought you was like a no. I thought you were all into cold cuts and out the door.
No,
And
we got
you have
sub
tables.
we got subs and pizzas and tables and stuff like that. Yeah, we got
Okay, you have
everything.
tables and chairs. Never mind.
Yeah,
Never mind. I'm sorry.
yeah.
Okay, never mind. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So you half own a restaurant. Okay. how is business these days? Can you talk to us about? And sorry, where is it? Somewhere in the East Coast, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it's a
Baltimore,
little bit.
New York.
No, it's like I'm from Boston, or whatever, but the restaurant is located a little bit outside of the city. It's in a town called Marlboro, so it's a little bit outside of the
Marlboro.
city.
That's but you're in the Beltway. That's basically you're in DC area, no?
No,
Or no?
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
My again, I'm sorry, I'm a little drunk. My
That's okay.
geography escapes me. I used to
It's
be a
okay.
state of Illinois geography champion. I used
I'm
to be able to
from
tell you like,
I'm from Boston,
yeah,
Massachusetts, so it's like that. I mean, a couple of guys have come out and visit. What's up? I want to give a shout out to Double I. He's dropped in a couple. Brooklyn MGTOW. Drove up from New York, come by and seen me and everything. So it was cool. I know MGTOW and the Wind was trying to come up. If MGTOW and the Wind comes up there, me and him are gonna have a fucking party because that's my boy right there.
oh yeah, you know what? MGTOW and the Wind. He was just in Chicago last week. I was asking him to meet up, and he just said, "No, I'm
Yeah,
sorry, I can't do it. I'm just driving through." And he's a trucker. While he's working, I
yeah,
can't bug him. But,
he's got to work and you know what I mean, stuff like that.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, I'm
Okay,
half
so
owner of a restaurant, whatever.
how
Business since COVID,
sorry, go ahead.
business is rough. I mean, we're doing all we can. I mean, just a little while back, it was really like ridiculous slow, and it was in jeopardy. But then it picked back up, so we're doing okay now. I'm not gonna
That's
say we're
good.
doing well.
That's
We're
good, of
doing
course.
okay. We're floating above water. We're doing all right.
Okay, I don't know if you saw. This was recently in the news. Our esteemed leader, Joe Biden, he's trying to pass a $40 billion deal to the Ukraine. Some of their battalions are known to be not just white supremacists. I'm sorry, not I shouldn't say white. Meant to say white nationalists. Not just white nationalists. Some of them are openly white supremacists. Some of them are Nazis, and
Yeah,
apparently he's trying to give them $40 billion. That's a side note, of course. I'm not saying that all
yeah,
Ukrainians are like. I'm not saying that, but I also hear there was wasn't there a bill to try to alleviate or to help American restaurants in particular? It was $48 billion they were trying to give to American restaurants, and
yeah. I
that was
remember.
struck down. Did you hear about that?
I didn't know that it was struck down, but I heard talk about it. I didn't know that they were. Yeah, I didn't think that they
Yeah,
were
it died.
putting
It
that.
died. It died in the house. You're not getting that money. But
Yeah, I just heard
aren't
about
you
talk.
aren't you appreciative of our government? They want to give these people money. Fighting in a war halfway around the world. But you know, why can't they? Why can't they? Why at the very least? Why can't they give you a tax break?
Well, first of all, McDowell Cowboy, this is all set up from the beginning. Okay, first we had the lowest unemployment rate of all races of people in this country. We were self-sufficient, damn near. We had the border under control. As soon as this man gets in office, what happens? He shuts down the pipeline, which is ridiculous.
Oh yeah,
Okay, that's number one.
yeah.
Shut down the pipeline, shuts down the fuel. That makes scarcity. That makes the trucker. You know what I mean? He caused the whole problem and issue. Now this Ukraine issue thing. This is all kickback and cover up from his dealings in the Ukraine. Him and his son. Okay, and his brother, that they got money tied up down there in Ukraine. So that's why they're trying to help and do all of these things. I mean, Ukraine has nothing to do with us. I mean, if anything, all those weapons and all that stuff that he purposely left in Afghanistan, he could have just gave that to Ukraine and said,
Yeah,
"Hey, you guys do your own thing."
yeah,
Okay, you
yeah.
guys do
What
your
was
own
that?
thing.
What was that?
What was
Can I
that?
get
That
your
was
take on that? I'm sorry
my
that this is
take on
going a
that.
little far
My
afield.
take, my hold on. My take on that is that he purposely left those weapons there on purpose
Yeah,
because
I agree,
because
100%. That was a weapons deal.
listen, because by 2024, during the next presidential election, we need a new terrorist
There
attack
you go.
between 2024 and 2030. Because imagine this: He's doing this on purpose so that way, if Trump comes back, now the Democrats will have something to say, like, oh, look at this. We got all this terrorism going on under your watch. We got this going on under your watch. And that president's going to be able to say is, well, the last administration left all of these weapons over there, this, that, and the third. And then they're going to say, oh, well, you're a racist because you said Joe Biden left weapons in Afghanistan.
Right. Okay. So
it's just going to be it's a future tactic to cause problems.
It's a future tactic, right? Basically, I would just say exactly what you just said in other words. Yeah, it's a future tactic. So that's okay. So my dad, I'm not saying my dad is some sort of like, supreme, amazing geopolitics guy, but he's a smart guy. He was in the military. He went to college, and he's talking to me. He's like, Joe, that's an arms deal. You think if we knew last minute that, okay, worst comes to worst, right before we leave, we could have sent in choppers with like Hellfire missiles and Hydras and just destroyed them all from the air if we wanted to. No, that's an arms deal. Right, that was left.
Your father is 100% correct, and I'll tell you exactly what it is. It's the Iran-Contra deal, Part 2, 21st century version. If some of you guys
10 years later, we can be fighting some enemy wherever they are, somewhere in the Middle East. All those weapons, they're going to find themselves all over the Middle East. They're just being, all those guns. They got helicopters, a whole bunch of like, they got everything, guns, everything.
They got everything. I bet you they even got TR-3Bs for those of you guys out there who follow any what is it? Re-engineered, reverse engineered vehicles. Any of you guys out there follow reverse engineered vehicles? I guarantee you they probably got TR-3Bs out there. Those of us who know what those are.
No, I don't. I know what the concept of reverse engineering is, but I haven't heard of it.
Well, our government has reverse engineered TR-3Bs, which are the triangle shape aircrafts. They have a red light in the center. They have a red light in the center and 3 white lights at each corner, and they look like alien ships.
Sounds like you're talking about some UFO stuff now.
Yeah, they look like UFOs, but they're not. They're reverse engineered.
We're getting lost in Shangri-La here.
Those are American. Those are American ships. They're American. But anyway, like I told you, I told you I'm red pilled. I research a lot of things.
Right. No, it goes way deeper than just women and marriage. I agree. Give me 10 seconds. I have to run to my fridge and grab another beer. Frank, if you want to introduce yourself, go ahead, bro.
But yeah, Brandon's leading us towards a big disaster.
All right.
And I'm telling you this too, for you guys that are out there listening. There is going to be a catastrophic terrorism event coming by 2020, between 2024 and 2030. I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, I mean, it's very scary. It's very scary to think that, but yes, I think we're sort of this accelerationist.
It's going to happen. They're setting it up for it.
Well, what proof? What proof do you have of that? What proof?
Just from living and watching how the government operates since I've been about 10 years old. I see how they operate. All you got to do is just follow the script.
So really, you're making a prediction.
Yeah, I'm making a prediction because they do the same thing over and over again. Man. You know what I mean? And then they set it up.
Right. It's gotten to the point. Where I think the concept of the false flag has sort of entered the psyche of the average American. The idea that, maybe not all, but at least some of these mass shooting events or so-called terrorist activities are actually orchestrated by like rogue elements of our own government.
They are.
Huh.
I mean,
In order
'cause
to
how
what?
do
In
you
order to
think
move us?
how do you think they get things done? I mean, just like how they orchestrated the whole George Floyd thing to have black people acting up, talking about Black Lives Matter. They orchestrated the whole thing. They had to do that in order to in order to
Is
um, in order to redirect the attention from shit. They had to.
okay. Okay.
Because
Is
I'll tell you this,
is George Floyd
because I'll tell you
is
this,
George Floyd dead?
I don't even know. I don't even know.
I don't even know. I'm hearing people say all kinds of things lately. I've been hearing all kind. I spoke to a gentleman 3 days ago who was saying he doesn't think nuclear weapons are real, and I was like, oh my god, you're blowing my mind, dude. I don't know.
No, I think nuclear weapons are real. I think they're
Yeah,
real.
I think they're real too. I'm just saying, like, again, I made a
I,
video about this as well. It's one of my longest videos. I was talking about how when
I
you
think
when you
they're
start
real
learning about these topics, you got to be careful not to
because check this out, Mick.
lose your
Hold on.
footing.
Hey, no, check this out, MGTOW Cowboy. When it comes to BLM, right?
Yeah.
Why? Listen to this. Why BLM? It started off as okay, a black man got killed by the police and whoop de whoop. Okay. Why was this organization founded by two black
Three.
lesbian hold on, three black lesbian women? Now three black lesbian women, that equals a coven. They're witches.
A
Now
coven. Oh my goodness.
that's
Yeah, no.
they're witches. They are
There was a
witches.
website.
They're
There's a
witches.
website you can go to. It's much larger now. At the
Now,
very beginning, it was
most people
only like 16 pages. If you read it, whatever, the first couple pages, it's all fluff.
yo,
Oh, we care about the community. No, no. You know what BLM was really about? It's about pushing not lesbianism. It's about pushing transgender and like whatever LGBT,
that's what I'm getting
gay,
ready to this is
what do
that's
you
what
want to
I'm
call
getting
it?
ready to say to you. If you go up to the average black man in the street and you ask him about BLM, he's going to tell you BLM is for women and gay people, not for people like me.
Yeah,
It's not for
there you
black
go.
men. It's for women and
No,
gay people.
yeah, it's for the
It's
gay.
not it's not for
You can go right
it's
on their
not
website.
yeah,
You can go right on their
yeah,
website.
it's not for
The
straight black
women.
men.
No, no. I have this idea that there's I talk all about it. There's a concerted effort to emasculate the black man, all men. But yes, talking about the black men, talking about BLM.
Yeah,
Um,
it's been
yeah,
like that.
BLM is about pushing socialism, and it's about pushing LGBT themed topics within the black community or everywhere, but in this
Yeah.
particular instance, the black community.
And the thing about it is the reason why they always be trying to push that so hard is because that let me tell you something about because I'm black myself. Let me tell you something about black culture. Okay, that's not in our culture whatsoever. That's being forced upon us, and it's like even though you have to accept all of these things or whatever, we do not accept that kind of stuff. None of us. Even if we do have a family member who is gay, even if we have friends who are gay, we accept them, the person, but their lifestyle, we do not accept that. You know what I'm saying? But we're not the kind of people that are going to hate somebody or beat somebody up or kill somebody because that's the way they are. If we love that person, we love that person, but we don't accept what they're doing. Just like if I love my brother, I love my brother, even though he's out there shooting people and selling drugs, but I still love him. I don't accept how he
Right?
lives.
No, I get
don't.
it.
Yeah, you see, listen, I don't accept how he lives or how he chooses to get money, but I love him. You know what I'm saying? But
Sure.
I don't accept his life, and that's the same thing. That's how us black people operate. It's like, okay, we have to accept you on some bullshit because you're forcing us, but we don't accept that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's how we are. It's
Sure.
like this. It's like, okay, I accept it, but I don't accept that shit. We're very contradictory, like a paradox. It's like, okay, man, you're cool, but you ain't fucking cool. You see what I'm saying? That's how black
No,
people are.
right. No, I couldn't. You word it very well. I don't respect how you get money. I know, I don't know all the details, but I get the big picture, and I know I get it. I get it.
Yeah, you still
All right, let me ask you a couple more personal questions. All right, so you're a black man. You're
Yeah.
from the East Coast.
Yeah.
You are a business owner. You how old are you?
I'm 45 last month.
45. Just turned 45. Do you have any kids?
Yes, I do, 2.
Okay. Boys, girls,
I have
girls, all boys.
I have 1 boy and I have 1 girl and I have 2 grandsons.
Oh wow. Okay. You know what? Maybe. Wow. I've watched many of your videos. You've never alluded to having any children, I don't think. Okay. I did not know that you had children. Okay.
Oh
Have you
no,
ever been
my
married?
daughter, my daughter did a short video for me. She said, from Mr. Former's family to yours, that she wished everybody a happy Father's Day on one of my videos. My daughter and her
Okay.
husband.
Oh. Okay. Okay. I stand to be corrected.
No.
Have you ever been married?
Yeah, I was married.
You were married. Okay. Can you talk about that a little bit? How old were you when you got married? When did you get divorced?
Uh,
Did you cheat on
I got
her? Who initiated the
well,
divorce? Were you dragged into child custody court?
well, we were together for about maybe 3 years, and then uh, I had to go to jail for about 5 years. Then I got out, and
What?
we got back
What?
together. Yeah, we were together for about 3 years. She was pregnant with my daughter. I went to jail for 5. I came home, and we got back together, and then we gave birth to my son. We got married, and then she started getting involved in drugs and stuff like that, and that pretty
What
much
kind of drugs? What kind of drugs? Just weed?
cocaine and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
getting involved in
ooh.
drugs, and then she started wanting to do what is it? This is when this is way back in like 2001, 2002. Back when the towers first fell, when all the LGBTQ stuff started coming around or whatever. Then next thing you know,
Yeah.
she wants to have threesomes, and then
No.
she wants to fool around with women and all of this stuff. So it's like, I had to
No.
get rid. So I
Oh
had to get rid
no.
of her. Yeah, so I had to get rid of her.
Oh yeah. No, I'm sorry. Okay, you. Oh no. No. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow. What
yeah,
kind of just powder coat? Was she crack-a-lacking or?
yeah. Every damn thing. So what I did was, me and my kids. I grabbed me and my kids and I moved out another part of the city, whatever. Got a house and took my kids and put them there and everything, and you know, letting them go. I had my kids for years going to school, all that kind of stuff, no problems. Then we got divorced finally, like
What
legally
what year?
divorced,
What year? I'm sorry. What year was your divorce finalized?
like 2010.
Okay. So you were married
And
for how many years in total?
we
How
were
many years were you married?
2.
Okay, it's a pretty short marriage. Okay, now this is a personal question. You don't have to answer this, but wow, I don't even know how to broach this subject. You you were incarcerated for a number of years.
Yeah, for about 5.
Do you mind me asking why?
Possession of Class B with intent to distribute,
Ah,
possession of a firearm, brandishing a weapon, brandishing a weapon in a public dwelling, discharging a weapon in a public dwelling.
okay, so you were in the game.
Yeah,
You don't have to go into detail. Um,
yeah, it was at
I
that
will ask
time.
you.
At
I
that
will ask you
time,
this one question. What were you selling? Coke?
all
Rock?
I was selling coke, heroin, and I was selling guns.
Oh, you were selling all of it. What an enterprising individual. I knew I liked
Well, it was more than that. It was kind of like I wasn't just like a regular uh, thug. I was the thug that supplied the thugs.
You were more organized.
Yeah, I was a thug that supplied the thugs.
you were, you were. Let's see. You were above a soldier, but below a coppa. Okay, I get it. I get it. Wow, that's. I mean, I'm not. I mean, I'm not saying I'm proud of you, but yeah, I have a certain respect for men who understand that sometimes there is a need. I don't know how to put it. I've said it. I've taught. I say it all the time. In the future, I say this in the future. I think that men who get what they want, they're increasingly going to have to skirt the law. Of course, I'm not advocating any sort of illegal activity. I'm just
Well,
saying that I think
at that time, I really didn't know any better. You know what I'm saying? At that time, I didn't know any better. After I went to, because I didn't, I'm a product of a single family and all that kind of stuff. So there you go. But the thing
yeah, I
about it
wanted
is,
to get into that.
but I'll tell you this. But when I went to jail and I was in prison for 5 years, I was around men, and I'm talking
Sure.
about real men. I'm talking about guys that were going to be there for the rest of their lives.
Hyper masculine men.
And I was a young man, and they took me in and they explained to me what the fuck this shit is really all about. And they even told me, they said, listen, man, we're going to school you. We're going to help you out because we don't want to see a young brother like you end up like us. And they gave me a lot of lessons. And they also said, listen, it's not all gravy. When you get up out of here, you stay up out of here. If you come back up in here, you dead. Do you understand? And I'm like, yeah, I get it. You know what I mean? So they helped me out, man.
Just out of curiosity, where do they send you? To a state or federal penitentiary?
Oh yeah, I went upstate. I was in Walpole. Okay. Walpole State Penitentiary. But they really wasn't gonna kill me. They were just trying to help me and set me on the right path.
That's a state penitentiary, not a federal?
Yeah, state.
Okay, so it's not they could have sent you federal. You're gonna do 80% of your time and all the worst guy. I don't know anything about that.
No. I had mandatory. I had mandatory.
You did? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, because I had schools. Okay. I had school zones, so mandatory. Sentences.
Oh, you were caught within a school zone. They figure out anyone to get you.
And you know what's funny? Okay. Let me explain to you. I learned this too. I learned I should have went to law school. I didn't even think about it. I should have, but I learned a lot. A school zone is not just a school. It's a school. It's a church. It's a library. Anywhere kids go to gather. If your house has a tire swing, instant school zone.
That I did not know. I will tell you something that I know.
Daycare centers.
So and I'm gonna ask you to repeat what you just said in like 1 minute, but I want to tell you something quickly. And of course, I don't claim to speak from experience, but are you aware? I don't know if this is statewide. I don't know if it's federal, but I know at least within the municipality of Chicago, if you get caught on school grounds or on a government in or around a government building, on the premises of a government building or a church with a prostitute engaging in solicitation or in the act, it's a felony. When normally it's not. It's a misdemeanor. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
Yeah. I mean, if you're just on the street or something, you get caught, you get busted with a hooker, you're having car fun, it's just a misdemeanor. But if you get caught in like a church parking lot, all of a sudden it's a felony. I've never heard of this. Or I mean, I had not heard of it until I did. And now you're telling me there's...
I didn't know that. See, but the thing is, they always have a lot of secret laws to get you, to keep you in jail, because you got to understand, a prisoner, that's $300 a day that you're there for the state.
Right.
So there's a lot of law that they don't tell anybody, so that way they can, keep you and stuff like that. But I'll tell you this though, I changed my life for the better, and I applied what I was doing in the wrong way to do it in the right way. You know what I'm saying? And then what
Sure.
I realized, and then by getting red pilled, I realized how I ended up in jail. I ended up in jail because it all stemmed from holding women on a pedestal. It all,
Sure. I couldn't agree more.
It all stems from simping. It all
I
stems,
couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. I could not agree more.
It all stemmed from not being a man going my own way, not focusing on myself,
All right.
not doing what I
All
had to do for me.
There's
Because I was
a
living my
video.
life. Yeah, because I was living my life to help and, you know, for a woman, not me. And what did it end
In
up
so
being?
many ways. In so many.
Yeah.
I never even thought like, okay. Let me interject right now, and I want to tell you about a video that I watched. Have you ever heard of a guy called Traversable MGTOW?
Yes, I have. I have heard of that.
You have, okay. Even in passing, you may have not have seen all his videos. I have not watched all his videos, but I've seen some of them. He's got a real good video, and I saw it, and I spoke to him about it. We were talking about a gentleman. I don't know if he was like German or Austrian, or he was Jewish. He was Jewish, but he was German Jewish or Austrian Jewish, whatever. German speaking. His name was Otto Weiniger. He was a brilliant philosopher. Unfortunately, he committed suicide rather young, 22, 23, something like that, real young. But he had already done a lot of good work. The crux of his argument was that actually, if you think about it, almost everything is women's fault. And he developed this idea. And this is contrary to like everything that you see in the media today. He stated things like, take your average tribesman or your average, person like a long time ago, before there were like, complex government, city states, your average tribe, and they would go to war with the tribe next to them in the valley, across the river, across the mountain. Do you know why they were fighting? It's because of women. All the man needs to operate and really to be happy is access to sex, ability to make progeny, a nice house to live in, and a job to do, something to do to be productive. Most men are happy, but women are not. Women they constantly want more and more and more and more and more and more resources. And so the man is taught, you can call it brainwashed, you can call it socialized, social engineering, call it whatever you want. The man is taught that he's got to go and get some more stuff, essentially. And then this is where, they'll start thinking, well, we gotta go like invade that next valley over, steal their shit so we can give the shit to the women. And then just extrapolate that out. And then, from tribes to nations to nation states to entire civilizations, you have one country invading another country. This is where all this comes from. It comes from these women. They're constantly needing more and more shit. And then men feeling the pressure. The man, he got to shine. He got to be grinding. So, you stay on your grind and you shine, and women gonna like you. And this whole idea that you have to do this for women, it all comes from women, and that we need to move past this. And even though this is tremendously hard, we can do it. And if we do it, we can actually reformat our entire civilization or society. Does any of that make any sense?
No, it makes perfect sense.
Do you think that you and I've made videos that talking about this. Have you ever done anything illegal for a woman?
Yeah.
I bet you have. Yeah. Yeah, so have I.
Yeah. I mean, I had to generate the kind of money, like you say, because that's what it's all about. And I'll tell you this, in the inner cities, most men are locked up in jail because of women. May not because of a woman, may not because, domestic violence, but guess what? He's selling drugs. Why is he selling drugs? To get money. Why is he trying to get money? So he can buy a car for her. So he can buy clothes for her. Right. So he can buy purses for her. So he can buy high heels for her. So he can buy jewelry for her.
You got it. You got it. Yeah, take her out to eat, spend money on her, buy her shit, clothes, cars,
Yeah.
you know,
And for
jewels.
what? For some vagina that everybody else is using anyways behind his back.
Right.
So it's
For
all
vagina that you
so
don't
it's
even
all
own anymore.
yeah, so it's all for nothing. It's all
It's
for
all
nothing.
for nothing. It's all
It's
for
all
nothing.
for nothing. Yeah. And that's why us MGTOW red pill guys say focus on yourself. Okay.
Mr. Foreman,
Generate your own wealth. Okay.
Mr.
Worry about
Foreman, Mr.
yourself.
Foreman,
Women will come.
why can we not get Mr. Foreman? Why are we MGTOW having a hard time disseminating this information? How come men don't want to listen to us?
Because they want their safe. The way they're living, they think it's safe because nothing has happened to them yet. You know what I mean? They're dancing around the fire and they haven't got burned, so they think it's all good. They don't believe us that the fire is hot because they never got burned.
They don't believe us. They don't
They don't
believe that they can
believe
get
us.
burned.
Yeah, they hear us, but they don't believe us. They don't believe it. I mean, they can see the fire, they can feel that it's warm, but they haven't got burned, so they just keep dancing around it until one day they're gonna slip and fall in and get burned. And then they'll be like, holy shit, they was right. The fire is hot.
Yeah. Yeah. Can I always feel a little uncomfortable. I shouldn't say uncomfortable, but just no, I'll just come out and say it. Can you talk about can you and I talk about for a second the black community, particularly black men,
Yeah.
and how this relates to black men? Do you think a lot of black men have killed other black men or stolen their
Yes.
drugs or fucked
Yeah.
them
For
over
women.
or somehow
Over
they went to
women.
jail
Yes.
because this
Yes.
guy wants to fuck that woman, but that guy is like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes.
Can you
Yes.
talk
Why
about
do
that
you?
for a second? Because I think that happens in all communities. I think it happens in the white community too.
Yeah,
But I
but
think
it
when
is
it comes to the
especially
violence, or I'm sorry, go ahead.
now. You live in Chicago, right?
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
Now check this out. As long as you've been alive, every time it gets warm, what happens when it gets warm?
yes,
The women
yeah.
come out. Hold on. The women come out. They're wearing skimpier clothes. Everybody's having fun. But home, why does the violence increase? I, the violence always increases
Right.
because the cleavage comes out and the clothes are less. So the men are out here hating on each other because you got this woman, I want that woman. It's all about women, 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 women. This is why people are out here getting shot and killed every time it gets warm and the violence goes up. It's all over women. Okay, it's all over women
It's all over women.
because guys aren't out here trying to get money to impress other guys. Because you could have a group of guys, right? And one guy pulls up
Yeah.
an Lexus. One guy pulls up an Lexus and says, "Hey guys, check out my new Lexus." You know what the guys are gonna say? "Hey, what's up, bro? Man, this is a nice car. Yeah. Hey, let's go get some beers." And that's the end of it. But the guy needs that car to impress the women so he can get her in and have sex with her and all that kind of shit. That's what it's all about. And that's why you have all this violence and everybody's shooting. So that guy that you were talking about is absolutely correct, man. It's all stems from people trying to impress women. It's all about the peacocking. It really is. But once you get in the mindset and the mind frame of, you know what, I don't give a shit no more, man, and just do this stuff for you, you'll be you. Let me just tell you this. I get more women now. I get more women now that I don't care about them like that than when I was out there trying years ago. Trying to get women, trying to get their numbers, going to the bars, going to the clubs and all that kind of shit. I get more women now by telling them the truth about themselves and not caring. They love me. And I'm like, yo, I'm gonna go home and get on my PS4. Maybe we'll go out to lunch or something later. I'll see you.
Yeah, no, I don't know what to say to that. I'm sort of experiencing that as well. If you ignore women, they can tell, they take notice of that when you're not hyped up, you're not checking for them all the time. They notice that.
Yeah, they do. They do. They really do. And let me tell you, where I work at my place of business, right? I mean, I'm pretty much the only guy. It's all women. Okay. And I don't give a fuck. And they know that. And all they want to do is talk and this and that, blah, blah. It's crazy. And like with the female customers too, it's the same thing, you know, because I just treat them like everybody else, but they want to smile, they want to come in and be like, "Hi," this and that, and this and that. It's crazy. It's crazy. And then the women that I work with, they're always like, "Why you don't have no girlfriend? How come you don't get married again?" And I told one woman, I said, "Why would I want to get married again? That's crazy." I said, "That's like putting my head in this oven twice. I already did it once." I said, "I already did it once. I'm doing it again." They're like, "Oh, don't be like that." I said, "Hey, I mean, you know, you're in a relationship, so it's good for you." They're like, "What are you talking about?" I said, having a girlfriend and getting married has no benefit for me. It's only benefiting you. See, first of all, I can't afford a girlfriend or a wife." And they're like, "Yes, you can. You got money." I said, "Yeah, I got money for me. I ain't got enough money for her." Okay, if I want to go buy a BMW, I can buy myself a BMW. I ain't got money for 2 BMWs. Okay? All right.
No, I totally agree. I see. The thing is, when they say things like that, they really do mean it. You definitely have enough money where you could be supporting some woman somewhere. You know that.
Yeah,
That's really what they're saying. I'm
that's
sorry.
really
I'm
what they're
sorry to
saying.
sound so conspiratorial. I'm
That's
sorry to
really what
sound
they're
so
saying.
conspiratorial. I have this idea. These women, they're all in on it.
They are. It's their culture. It's female culture. It's female nature. They're all in on it. Okay? They're all in on it. And I'll tell you this, growing up as a kid, I used to hear songs and I used to listen to women talk and it never clicked. I wish I really had paid attention. I mean, I grew up listening to women talking about, "You got to have a J-O-B if you want to be with me." And then don't you know how I took it? I took it as, when I became a teenager, I had my own apartment and stuff, I always thought, okay, I got to get a job and I have to have a nice apartment and then I can get a good looking woman. See, that was my mindset. My mindset wasn't get a good job, have a nice place for me. It was get a job, get a new nice
Right.
place so chicks could see it. Not about me. It was about women. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That's not the way to live, man. It is more to life than just pussy, man. It's more to life than just women, you know. And it took a long time and many years for me to see that and realize that. I really
When did you
wish
see that? When did you see that?
when
When
I
did you
turned
become a MGTOW? When did you have these ideas pop into
35,
your mind?
35, 35 years old, it was like somebody threw a bucket of water on me and I was just flushed with all this knowledge. And I'm like, holy crap. Holy moly.
Yeah.
My eyes were open. You know what I mean? And I tell you this, when I was 35, that was my last girlfriend. And I
Yeah,
told her
mine
to,
was like 30, 31.
I,
Yeah.
I told her to her face, I said, "You know something, honey? If this doesn't work out between me and you, I am never, ever doing this again." And she said, "What do you mean?" I said, "If me and you don't work out, I'm never having a girlfriend ever again." Now, mind you, I never ever heard a MGTOW video in my life. I never heard of it. I didn't know nothing about being red pilled or anything. I naturally, instinctively said, if this doesn't work out, I'm done. And then
Right.
as time went on, I found MGTOW and I found
Right.
red pill content. And I'm like, you know what? That's right. And I started listening and I started really paying attention. And then I got amped up and I felt like I had to speak. And then I turned on the camera, you know?
Right. Right, so I have the same story. You know, slow. It was slow at first. I had these ideas. I had this rumbling. I had this internal monologue, and then one thing turned into another, and the next thing I knew, I decided I wanted to talk about it. Next thing I know, I bought a GoPro. I bought a GoPro Hero 4, and then I bought another GoPro, and then I bought a third GoPro. And I started making videos, and you know, and then now I have over, I don't know, 500, 600 videos. I've been doing this for over a year. You know, I have this idea, like, man, I'm not kidding. I know it sounds crazy. You know, we're just two men rambling. You know, in the morning. I want to change. I want to help change the world. I want to change the culture. I want to help create a huge, a ginormous subculture of men that actively resist this, like you and I. Men who don't get married, men who, you know, all the stuff we do. You know, I've trucked. You have run a business. Whatever it is you do, I want to create a subculture of men that openly eschew marriage and what I call gynocentrism.
It's actually, I mean, it's moving, it's happening, it's moving slowly. I know you wanted to, you know, you want to do this like fast. It's moving slowly,
Yeah, fast,
but I'm telling
faster.
you, I know, but it's naturally evolving into that. Just how the LGBT community naturally evolved and grew and blossomed. The same thing with the philosophy. It's slowly gaining momentum because, see, the thing about it is right now it's getting ingrained in the regular people of the planet. And once it starts getting engraved in the regular people on the planet, word of mouth, people, men talking to each other, it just keeps continuing and continuing and continuing. And then one day it's going to happen. People are going to say, you know what? This and that, and this and that, and this and that. And they're going to take those guys for men's rights groups. But but it's going to be a shock to the system when those guys stand up and say, listen, we don't give a shit about men's rights because we don't have any. That's why we're not fucking partaking and getting married or any of this shit. We're taking our wallets and we're going home. What you going to do?
Right. That is really at this point, it seems like it's the only, there's like one or two things that men can do to picket, or not picket, to boycott like the system. Number one is don't get married, and don't have kids. That's and when I say don't get married, really I mean is hold on to your money. Don't sign any legal contracts with with any woman where she can legally have rights over your money, your future money, you know.
But you know what, MGTOW Cowboy? Listen to this.
Yeah.
The powers that be, they know this. They know all about us. They know all about everything. And that's why before it gets to that point, they're going to start to implement legislation.
I agree.
Legislation against this, against a man making his own choices. You know,
I agree.
Oh yeah, I just want to give a big shout out.
Let me interrupt you.
Yep.
Let me interrupt you. Today, did you catch that stream today? Hammerhand, Lion Hammerhand, Lion of MGTOW, the Warband, and Sandman. They all did a. Did you catch that stream today?
No, I didn't, but I saw the thumbnail. I was busy.
Yeah. One of them was talking. I can't remember who. I think it was Sandman. Sandman was talking about this brutal Romanian, Bulgarian, Hungarian, whatever, it doesn't matter. Eastern Europe. This brutal dictator. His name was Ceausescu. Things got so bad in his country. As a matter of policy, of course, he created like this bureau of like culture police or something like this. If you were a man and you were over 30 years old, and the police would just show up at your door. If you were a man and you were over 30 years old and you were unmarried, the police would show up at your door and knock on your door and say, "Hey, Mr. Forma, you're not married," and you would say, "Oh yeah, no, okay." Mr. Forma, we think you should. How come you don't have any kids, Mr. Forma? Oh no, yeah, no, Mr. Forma, we're going to be back in 3 months, and we'll, you need to get married. You need to start having kids. Could you imagine exactly what you're just saying? Police, legislation, government coming to your door. Hey, you're not married. What's going on? All right, Mr. Forma, are you aware in the country of South Korea? I'm sorry, I'm a little drunk. I'm a little inebriated, as I like to say. I'm like 4 beers in here. So in South Korea, if you attend a publicly funded university, basically the government helps fund it. If you attend a publicly or government funded university, the government forces you, not if you're a woman, but if you're a man. If you're a man and you attend a publicly funded university, the government makes you take women out on, I think it's 6 dates every semester for the first year, for the first 2 years, something like that. And you have to write, like, they try to integrate it with like the academics that you got to write a report on it and this and this. And they talk about, they openly say, we're doing this to help boost the birth rates. Have you heard of this?
No.
So I mean, why not? What if, what if the police came to your door? I remember watching one of your videos. You were talking to Mr. Forma. Do you remember that one video where, like, I think you were talking to your barber, and like, no, there was some hot chick, and you saw some hot chick, and then you went to your barber, and you're talking with your barber, and he's like, blah blah blah. There's this girl, blah blah blah, and then the same girl that you're talking about happens to be walking down the street, and both of you see her, and then he's like, "Oh man, you gotta get that. You gotta go talk to her." Do you remember that video?
Yeah, I do remember that. I remember that.
Well, I mean, why didn't you go chase her? I mean, you belong in prison again because you won't give her your money in marriage. You know that, right? Can you imagine that? They're gonna come get us.
You know what I would do? You know what I would do if that was the case? I would call my good friend. She's my best friend. Call her up. I say, hey, listen, I'm in business with her. I'd call her up and I say, hey, listen, the police is getting in my house. They're talking about I ain't married. They're gonna lock me up. They're gonna fuck up everything. So you're gonna have to like move in here, and you're gonna have to be my wife and shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we got the business, so we'll just do it like that, okay? You know what I'm saying? Listen, you can go out and do what the fuck you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. We ain't. You know what I'm saying?
You my wifey.
Yeah, I'll sleep in another.
I live my life. You live your life. But legally, we just gotta sign this piece of paper.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'll sleep in another room. We just get a 2-bedroom. You stay there. I'll stay over here. Don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? We'd have to do that.
Why? Why can't we just be free? Why are these people trying? Why is this? There's always some cabal. This like rich. I mean, I don't know.
But what's funny is that they're trying to boost the birth rates, but the whole plan is the whole 2030 agenda isn't it like 65 billion people need to get off the planet anyways for the elites? No. That's 65 billion. No. There's only, I think, if my understanding is correct, there's about 8 billion right now, not 65 billion. Like 65,000 or something?
Oh yeah, I mean,
65 million or something.
So every single year, across the world, every single year, again, I don't know the exact number, but you listen to these people and they say different things. The general consensus is every single year, Mexico, or the population of Mexico, which is like 125 million. I think it's 128 exactly. I just looked it up. About 125 million people are added to the earth every year. One Mexico is added every year. Dispersed all throughout all these countries, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But the point is, yeah, I think they want to bring it down. But at the same time, I think they're scared because they see that the population is crashing. They want to bring it down, but they don't want to crash it because that creates problems on they're not going to have a tax base. They want it to go down, but they want it incrementally to go down. Look at what's going on in China. China, what is it? for decades and decades. China had like a one-child policy. You ever hear of China's one-child policy, Mr. Foreman?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, it was illegal. Or they had rules. If you couldn't technically, you couldn't have more than one kid. The people in the countryside could kind of skirt this a little bit more. There was some swapping, and whose kid is it really? And anyway. So the point is that it's one-child policy. Well, the same thing has happened in China. The population's crashing. So then they changed it to a two-child policy. Now they changed it to a three-child policy. Now they got rid of it. You can have as many kids as you want. Now they're saying that they're not saying, they've already done this. They've outlawed abortions now in China to help boost the birth rate. Now they're saying they're going to outlaw. Listen to this. They're going to outlaw vasectomies. So that men can, like, yeah, look it up. We were just talking. It's just no, because but China's the most populated. China's the most populous nation on earth. What's going on?
Oh my gosh, they're gonna make vasectomies illegal. Wow.
I'm sorry. I think they already have. I'm sorry. I think I misspoke. Yeah, you can't get a vasectomy now in China.
That is crazy. So everybody's gonna have to get really good with shooting belly buttons, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. No, I get very passionate about these issues. Of course I want my society to run well, but these social engineers, man, they like to come in and tell us what to do. I don't like that, Mr. Foreman.
I don't like it either. But I mean, all I can do is gather the information, sit back, look, wait, and watch. See, the thing about it is like, I'm to the point where, I judge wisely, like nothing never surprised me. And I'm waiting for future events to come to fruition that I've already formulated I've already come to the conclusions of. All I do now is I sit back and I wait for them to happen. You know what I mean? Just like a couple of years ago, I was saying that, if Biden wins the presidency or whatever, you're going to start seeing a big push to legalize pedophilia, which is happening nowadays. You know what I'm saying? So I just judge wisely. That never surprised me, because
is that wrong? Is that wrong, Mr. Foreman? Is it wrong to have sex with children?
In my opinion, it is 100% wrong to have sex with underage people. Yes.
Why? Why? I don't understand. You obviously have hate.
Well, I don't hate. You see, the thing is, I have created underage people, and I love underage people, and I don't want to see underage people be mentally and physically destroyed before they're fully grown and able to make decisions for themselves.
Well, but these people would say something like, well, these advocates of like NAMBLA, what's that? The National Association of Man Boy Love Association. I can't remember. Yeah, no, they have special interest groups. These people, they say things like, well, it's the exact opposite of what you're saying. They're not hurting these children. They're helping them. They're almost doing a public service.
Well,
what would you say to that?
I would use their own terminology. I would say, well, then I understand where you guys are coming from, but if you guys are standing up proudly for this, then that means you guys are all guilty of rape, because these children cannot consent. You're doing this without their consent, so you guys are all rapists.
But they're saying that they want to lower the age of consent. Why can't a 5-year-old boy consent to having sex with a 40-year-old man? Why can't a 6-year-old boy consent to cutting his genitalia off and getting started on hormone blockers and eventually transition to a woman? What's wrong with that?
Oh, well, okay. Well, then I guess nothing's wrong with it. That means if he can do that, then that means he can go buy a gun. He can go buy a bottle of vodka. he can go buy some cigarettes, right? He can do that. He can go buy his own apartment and move out. He can get his own car. He can get a driver's license, right? If he can cut off his own genitalia, why can't he get a driver's license? Why can't he buy a beer? Huh? Why can't he smoke?
I'm drinking a beer. I'm drinking a beer right
Why
now.
can't
Maybe we should start giving
why can't-
5-year-old hard alcohol.
Yeah, why can't the 5-year-old get a job and start paying taxes? Why not? Why not?
I sorry to interject. I think
No,
it's
it's okay.
fine.
Please.
Sorry, Cowboy. I'll just interject and I'll mute myself again. I think it's
No,
fine.
it's okay.
I think it's fine for these people to do that. They go with the young 5-year-old girl or boy and do this and that and the other thing. But now, if we walk in the room, and they can do whatever they want, but if they walk in the room, we're all going to go fishing. Right? 3 of us, maybe 4 of us, we go fishing. 3 of us come back from fishing. Oh, what happened to whoever it was? Could be a male or a female, because these days these teachers are terrible. What happened to Sydney or Cindy? Oh, got lost in the dip, eh? One of those tragic accidents. Okay, sorry about this. I'm sorry to interject. I've been listening the whole time, but sorry. I'll mute myself.
No, it's okay. No, it's okay. Please, you don't have to unmute yourself.
Hey,
No, please, you could say it.
you have a great accent. Can you say something for me? Can you say, "Don't fuck with the Peaky Blinders," please?
Sorry, what was that, brother?
Can you
Don't-
please say, "Don't fuck with the Peaky Blinders"?
Peaky Blinders?
Say, "Don't fuck with the Peaky Blinders." Please say that.
Don't look. Do you want me to say it in a hard way or in just a normal Kiwi accent?
Yeah, say it in the hard way.
Okay, yeah.
This is awesome.
Don't fuck with the Peaky Blinders, all right? Yeah.
Yes. You
How's
fucking
that?
awesome.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
thank you. That was awesome.
I'm gonna mute myself because this is not my wheelhouse. But
Hold on a minute.
listening.
Let me ask you something. Are you
Yeah, right.
from Australia?
New Zealand, brother. New Zealand.
New Zealand? I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I'm sorry to confuse you with Australia, but the reason being is because you guys' accent is really close to the New England accent, like the Bostonian accent in America. Because I say hard, you say hard. I say beer, you say beer. I say over there, you say over there. Very similar accents.
I think so, brother. They so north, south, east, so all New York and all that area around the
Yeah.
east coast was founded by a lot of people coming from, I guess, Britain, Scotland,
Yeah. 100%.
Ireland, and all that.
100%.
So they've got a lot of, and up in Maine, I watched.
I was going to say, if I can interject, that's true. But another reason why I think that why you guys speak similarly, why this endures, is because you guys are on the coast, and you have there's a whole like shipping, maritime culture. You have thousands and thousands of sailors running around all over the world, and they speak a certain type of English, and you know, Boston Harbor, New York Harbor.
Yeah.
I think that had
Yeah.
something to do with it.
And I got to tell you, Cowboys, like I'll tell you this: if I was gonna be in any country or anywhere else or whatever, like I feel comfortable in Australia. I feel comfortable in England. Like I feel more comfortable in England and Australia talking to people than I do going to Louisiana in my own country. You know what I'm saying? Because people in Louisiana,
I know what you're talking about.
You know what
I
I mean?
lived in South Dakota. I lived in South Dakota for 5.5 years. I never met a single sailor in South Dakota, but in Florida, I come across a sailor every weekend.
Like a guy I know, Red Pill on steroids. He's from England. Me and him would talk for hours.
Yeah, no, I'm
remember
sorry.
Red Pill on steroids.
He goes by Black Pill on steroids. I just interviewed him 3 weeks ago or something.
Yeah, Black Pill on steroids. He's a good guy. He's a really good guy.
He's a good guy. He's a good guy. Yeah, no, I'm not saying I agree with every single thing he says. He's far out. He's taking it as far as you can go. But I think on how can I put it? I don't agree with him on every single detail, but I think he gets the big picture. He gets it.
I mean, you're not going to agree with everybody. Everybody's their own individual, has their own things. And, you gotta, this is how I live my life. Like, I like to interact and talk with everybody.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, I
Yeah,
take, I, and, I take in what's relevant, and then I leave what I feel I don't need at that time. But
Well,
sometimes I end up going back to pick it up. Like, wow, you know what? Now I see what that man was talking about. At first, I thought it was
Yeah, that
far out.
happens too. That
Yeah, at
happens too.
first
Yeah,
I
we
thought it
all
was
have all.
far out. And then I realized he
I
was just a little
agree.
bit
I
ahead
think
of
that
me.
as well.
Yeah, so he was a
Maybe
little bit
he's ahead of
me.
you. Yeah, right.
Yeah, he was a little bit ahead of me.
Like okay,
Now I learned.
for example, for example, right now I'd say I agree with him when he starts talking. He talks a lot about like psychology and learning about the normies and how they just like can't process information, or they don't get it. You can present to them facts, they still don't get it. Talks,
Yeah,
and I
they do
agree with
not.
him with that. He talks
Yeah,
about the banking system. Banking system is totally it's a scam. He talks about and he's right. He talks about getting out of the cities. I agree with him. Get out, move from a big city to a smaller town. There's going to be more of us. He talks all about it. There's more of a sense of community. There's less danger. It's you can grow your own food. He talks all about it. He's
It's-
full spectrum. I like that
yeah,
about him.
and you know something, a guy like that, and his line of thinking, whatever, he'll be around a long time, because I got to tell you, as soon as a disaster hits the cities, it's going to be a madhouse evacuating the
I know.
cities.
I know. I tell Polska Bob. I tell Polska Bob this all the time. Polska, you know who Polska Bob is? Have you ever heard of him?
Yeah, of course I know Polska Bob. He's former Force. I
Yeah.
know Polska Bob.
Right.
everywhere.
Yeah, no, he knows. Yeah, no, he knows you. He definitely knows you. I just didn't know if you knew him. Yeah, he was just jumped. He was just robbed, and
The
he
subway.
was beaten.
He went to the subway at the wrong time of the morning. Shocking.
No. There shouldn't be a wrong time. It's like you should be able to be free and safe almost everywhere you go.
Yeah, but that's why you got to practice. If you're in America, you got to practice your Second Amendment.
Yeah, second. Yeah.
Yeah, but Polska Bob is he is a drunkard.
Happy drunk. Happy drunk.
Oh.
He's a happy drunk. He doesn't know where he is sometimes, brother?
Yeah, well, that happens.
I
You
mean-
get taken advantage of.
Right. That's what I think. I think he got real drunk, like he does almost every night, and he was walking to a subway, and I think he kind of looked like a mark. Maybe he was swaggering a little bit. Maybe he was swaying. He didn't look totally not drunk, and then they decided to punk him right there.
Yeah, that's what happens, and especially in America, man. There's always some dirtbag lurking to try to get you out here. You always got to be on point. You really do.
Yeah.
That's why it's like if I'm gonna get drunk like that, I make sure that I'm over. Like, if I'm at your house, Cowboy, and I'm drunk like that,
Right.
I'm sorry.
That's what I do. I stay among friends, or I stay at home.
I'd be like, you know what, bro? I'm just gonna lay over there in that corner, on that floor over there until the morning.
I'm gonna crash on the couch. Right. It's classic.
I'm just gonna be over there on the floor. All right. I'll see you.
Right. That's exactly. I spent 9 years in college or in university. I can't tell you how many times where you'll meet new people every you definitely meet new people every semester. Right? A quarter, about a quarter. One out of every 4 people would leave college every 16 weeks. About a quarter of the population would leave, and a new quarter comes in, right? And you're constantly meeting new people. They're all young. People are having sex. There's drugs, and I can't tell you how many times, where it's like, oh no, am I gonna drive home? That's like 5 minutes away, but there's cops everywhere. No, I'm drunk. You just crash on the couch.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's all you can do. Hey, you know something though? You know what the being red-pilled, black-pilled, and living the MGTOW philosophy kind of does? It kind of motivates the motivational to motivate the motivators. It really does. And that's why people out here start making content, because we get motivated by the motivational to be motivators of others, which is good, man. I know it sounds crazy.
I'm sorry.
It really does.
I think you've been drinking more than me. I just
No.
started my last beer here.
I'm completely sober, man. I'm a sober guy. I'm a sober guy.
Good for
Man.
you. Good for you.
I'm a sober guy, man.
So, is there one or two more things? I want to cover one or two more things with you. These are all personal questions. You don't have to ask any. You don't have to answer questions. Can you talk about some of the tragedy in your life? Like, can you? Okay, so you were married.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit more about that? Were there any instances? Was there any infidelity? You mentioned that she got into drugs. Would you
Yeah.
mind talking a little about that? The abuse.
Well, I'll tell you
Did
this.
you
Well,
did you supply?
she was physically abusive. Yeah, she would take weapons and hit me and come after me, and I'd be minding my own business, and next thing I know, I got the police are hovering over me, carrying me out of my house, talking about I hit her and stuff like that, and I'd be sleeping. The police are getting me out of my bed. You know what I mean? It's crazy stuff. She was very abusive, man. Like if I said something or did anything she didn't like, she would like throw my food on the floor and do all kinds of things and jump on me and all kinds of stuff. And you know what I mean? I wouldn't attack her or anything like that. But what I would do is I would restrain her, or I'd put her somewhere for a few hours, and then I'd let her out. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Until she calmed down and stuff like that. But it was just ridiculous. She was like a wild animal. I couldn't live like that anymore. You know what I'm
She
saying?
was like a wild
It's-
animal. Yeah,
she
she
was
was like a wild animal.
She
What?
was,
That's
she was
bad,
like,
Mr. Form.
yeah, she
Bullshit.
was like
That's bullshit. That's terrible.
she was like a wild animal. It was ridiculous. And like
Let
for
me
the safety
it-
of me and my children, we escaped from her because she was nuts. And plus, it was like this: it was either we got out of there, or I'm gonna go to jail for life because I would end up killing her. You know what I'm saying? Because first of all,
you would
if I
smash your
won't,
fucking face.
yeah, it's like if I wanted to, I could
let
throw her
me
out the window.
interject.
You know what I mean?
Let me interject. So I'm gonna tell you a story, and I'm also gonna start with a quote. So you had mentioned, Mr. Foreman, you had mentioned a second ago. You were like, man, she was out of control. She's out of control. She's like a wild animal. I think it was the ancient Greek philosopher. No. I'm sorry, it was a Roman. The ancient Roman philosopher. He's Cicero. He was talking about how women ought never be allowed to have rights, and he likened them to a wild animal. That's what he said. He was like, no, we can never allow women to have equal rights. They will become our masters. Left to their own devices, they strike out like wild animals. He used that term, wild animals.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm going to tell you a story. I want you to listen real carefully because I'm going to, you got to read between the lines. So there's this person I know. He kind of reminds me of me. He's not me. He's not me. He's not me. He looks like me. Probably talks like me. Drinks like me. Dresses like me. He's not me though. He's
Not you,
not
yeah.
me.
Yep.
Very important that you understand that point.
Exactly.
Not me.
Yeah.
And one time, he was in his garage. And he was living with his mom at the time. His mom had bought a property, and he was living in a certain area of the building, and she was living in her certain area of the building, and they supposedly had this agreement, but immediately the mother went to infraction after infraction, breaking all the agreements she had made and all this. And it was sort of the end of this agreement, and he was moving out and all this. But anyway, there was this incident in the garage where the woman, the mother, was acting completely out of control. It was a very expensive bike, and of course, you'd want to keep the bike in the garage because if you leave it outside, like in the back in the alley, someone will steal it. Well, the mother, in some sort of spite and some sort of spiteful behavior, was putting the bike outside, was putting it in the backyard, and the son kept getting out and putting it back in the alley, all in real time, or this back and forth, and finally, the son had enough, and he slapped the shit out of his own mother. And it felt great. I mean, according to this guy I know.
Yeah.
And and there's no, it's not like, you enjoy, going around and persecuting people, and you relish in the fact that you're causing bodily harm. It has nothing to do with that. It's more of a sense of justice, where you see one person is out of control, and you notice in yourself. Of course, I'm not talking about me, of course, but you notice in yourself that you are in control, and this person is out of control, and this person is observing what's going on. They observe that they're breaking the rules, they're breaking the social contract. You see that, they see that, they're relishing in the fact that you're in control, and so since you're following the rules, they know that they can get away with breaking the rules. And finally, you say, okay. Essentially, they call it snapping. You snap, and you say, okay, bitch, you want to play this game? We can play this game. And you show that fucking bitch. You show her. I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm saying that in so many ways, I think that plays itself out in society. Good men are tested like this all the time. It's almost in a weird, sick, I think it's like evolutionary. I think it's like psychosexual. They want us to hit them back. They're just, they're waiting for us to stand up to them. I know that sounds crazy. I know it sounds sick. Of course, I'm not talking about me. You know, Frank, I'm of course.
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
not talking.
Sounds
No,
like
but
me.
that's
Sounds
what,
like
but that's no, you're not wrong. I mean, that is part of their psychology. They that's exactly right. But the thing about it is, with anybody, I mean, there's only so much you're gonna take from anybody, whether it's man or woman. There's only so much you can take, and it's like this too. Now, a person, older people, such such as us or whatever, we understand that it's the little things that will make people put a bomb in your car. It's something as simple as, you were unnecessarily rude. Being rude where I come from can get you shot. You know what I'm saying? Like you didn't happen to do anything to anybody, but because you were rude to somebody might shoot you. You know what I mean? It's the little things that drive people to the edge. And it's consistent little things that just make them blow up. Now, this woman kept taking this man's bike and she knows that it's bothering him. She just did it to get him to that point, to make him blow up for her own sick, twisted happiness. She's the very definition of a hater. Like she's got nothing else going on in her life that she has to do such a little, small, minute, unnecessary aggravation to this guy. And no wonder why the guys hauled off and smacked her. I mean, what's it going to do? He couldn't take it anymore. You know what I'm saying? What's it going to do? You know what I'm saying?
Right. So if you agree with if you see it that way and I see it that way,
I see it that way. Yeah.
Okay, so Frank sees it that way. How come the lawyers don't see it that way?
They want
Because
their money.
lawyers,
How come
because
how come the bailiffs? How come the judges? How come the lawyers? How come the
I'll tell you.
courts? How come
I'll tell you.
the stenographers, the caseworkers? How come they don't see it? How come
They get their money, brother.
I'll tell you why. Exactly. I'll tell you why. See, a domestic abuse case, you're facing a maximum of 2.5 years. Now, 2.5 years, how many days is 2.5 years? Is anybody good at math? Like
365, that's 720, 730.
About
And
1,000.
then add another 180 to that.
Yeah. 800, 900.
Okay, so 800 days times $300. Add that up. That's why they don't agree with the bailiffs and the judges and all that have a problem, because they need that $300 times 800 days or whatever it is. That adds up. 800 days.
Okay. So then take
each
this to its logical.
Each day.
Then take
Each
that
day is
to its
$300.
logical conclusion. If that's true, Mr. Forma, why do we allow that?
I don't know who voted for these laws and who put these laws in there. I don't know. I don't know where they came from or what it is. Who I don't know. I just don't know. I just don't know. I was born into this country, born into this society, born with these laws, grew up with them. They were just here. I didn't vote on anything. I never heard of anything. I just been subjected and punished by them. I don't know where it comes from. You know what I'm saying? And I get no explanation for it. You know what I mean? Nothing.
Sure.
At least like, okay, your parents give birth to you and they punish you and you don't understand why, they explain it to you. So that way you don't do it again and you learn. But these laws and this system, you just get punished and you don't even know what the fuck happened. Because shit just keeps changing. Now it's like if I go to the store and I say, "Hey, what's up, man?" and the guy turns around like, "It's ma'am," I'm going to fucking jail.
Right.
I'm going to fucking jail.
Right.
What the fuck?
Right. That's so interesting that you bring that up. That same idea has entered my thought process as well, my psyche as well. I think that's part of it. I think that, for example, all these rights and pronoun usage, and it's used to like terrorize the average man. You don't even know what your legal footing is. You're scared. You're just saying a word, you can go to jail. And I think it's done on purpose.
Bro, the other day in my restaurant, I was talking to this guy. We were just talking. And I said to him, in casual conversation, "Hey, man, you really got to lay off the beers, man. You're getting a beer belly there." This man looked at me and said, "Oh, it's not beer. I'm pregnant."
That's
and
weird.
I said, "What do you mean you're pregnant?" And he said, "Oh, I'm in transition. I was born a woman."
Oh,
I said, "Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here." And that
was this person really pregnant?
Yes, it was a trans
Wow.
man. It was a trans man that I was talking to. A trans man.
Wow.
It was a woman who was transforming herself into a man
Oh.
and is pregnant. And then after we had some more conversation, I said to him, I said, "Hey, number one, you picked the wrong side, right? You should have stayed a woman."
Yeah.
And he started laughing, right? And then I said, "You know something? If you're gonna join our team, you're gonna have to stop banging guys, because look at you." And then we laughed some more, and then he went about his way. And then I saw him the next day, and he was like, "Hey, how you doing?" I said, "Hey, how you doing? No problem." But I told him, I said, "You're gonna join our team and become a guy. You got to stop banging guys. You can't be banging guys no more if you're gonna turn into a guy." And I can't. And that was my first experience meeting a trans man, and this happened Friday. I didn't think it was real. I didn't think that was real.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say.
I did not think that was real. I thought that it was all just bullshit propaganda or whatever. I thought there was only trans women. I didn't know that women be transitioning into men. I never knew that shit until Friday. I seen it for myself, my own eyes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so weird. We really are entering as what's his name? Was it Aldous Huxley? We're entering a brave new world. What's that?
Brave New World, yes. Aldous Huxley.
But hold on a minute. Why the fuck would a woman want to become a man? Don't these women know what it is?
I mean, that's
you know what it is? Hold on a minute.
That's the fascinating part.
I just realized
I don't
something.
Claim to know. I
realized.
claim to recognize patterns.
I just realized something. They don't realize what's going on with society and men. They don't believe it. So now that if they become men, they'll believe it because they'll have to go through it.
Sure. Yeah. No, I hear. No, I agree with that. I think I've come to understand that, like, even though I think the truth is objective, so I'm an objectivist. I believe in objective morality as well. for that,
What
for
are
that
they trying to
matter.
do? Replace us? What do you think they're trying to do, cowboy? What are they trying to do?
Well, I think so. You just said it. Some of them they really don't see the world like we do. They really don't think that men are made to be victims. They really think it's the way to. I'm not saying all, but some of them they really think, men have all these advantages. But they see that men are bigger, taller, stronger, and then they think, wow, that could be me if I transition to a man. I could do that. But then, that's the whole point. Once they actually become a man and they start getting treated like that, then it's going to be a different story. But they've never had that. That's not their perception because they come from a different point of view. It's like you hold up a gold coin in front of 100 people. Some people are going to see this side. Some people are going to see the opposite side. Some people are going to see the edge. Some people above, below, and But the actual coin itself and the way the coin looks doesn't change. It's just your perspective changes depending on where you are in the room.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what? I hope that a lot of these women turning into men, I hope enough of them can come out there and get the full equality of being a man and then realize what the fuck is really happening out here. and maybe because they're LGBTQ, maybe they could change something for us.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I believe that. No, I've come to believe that actually the LGBT community it could be used as like a hidden weapon. I've come to believe that the LGBT community has accomplished more for men's rights than the men's rights movement has. The LGBT community has done more for men in the last 5 years than the MRM has done in the last 50 years.
Yeah, and that's crazy.
If you, Mr. Forma, if you decide to, I don't know, catch a case of gender dysphoria, and you go to your doctor and say, doctor, I used to be a middle-aged, masculine presenting cisgender black man. I've decided I've turned into an Asian woman, and no, I'm a Asian transgender. Call it whatever you want, but legally change your orientation to a lesbian or somehow change your sex to a woman. No one can no one can fuck with you.
Hey, I'll do like that dude in New Jersey did. If they're getting ready to lock me up for some years, I'll tell them, hey, you know what? I'm a woman, right? Go to the women's prison. I'll be banging the chicks and they're getting them pregnant. Like,
I heard about that.
That'll be cool.
They're gonna have to do something. They're gonna have to make a separate fucking building for trans people.
There you go. No, I mean the whole thing is ridiculous. The whole thing is ridiculous.
They're gonna have to make a trans prison building.
But the point is, there is a concerted effort. I'm convinced there is an attack on masculinity as we know it. They don't like the idea of masculinity, the concept of it, the stoicism, strength, the capacity for violence, the streak of the propensity for violence, the desire for freedom. They want to wash, they want to dilute, they want to dissolve all this away from us. They want us all acting like scared little girls.
Yeah, they do. They do. But you know what? Like, no matter what they do, though, they still can't get rid of this because we're out here. They're out here. Men, there's still men out here. And it's like, we're not going anywhere, man. I mean, they could try, but there's still, there might end up being a very small percentage on this planet, but they're still here because you got to think of it. no matter how much they try to diminish it and have everybody act like a bunch of little girls, as long as there's a small percentage of real men, they could still do something. I mean, look at what the Spartans did. 300 guys against all of that whole big army. Imagine it. Imagine that. Imagine 300 real men against a whole bunch of fucking sissies on the planet.
Right. No, I mean, of course, that's true, and that made for a good movie. But more importantly, is the backstory. So those 300 men were wiped out. They were all murdered, including the king. And they took out a whole bunch of men too. But you know why they did what they did, right? You know what that allowed. You know why they did what they did.
Yeah, to push for everybody to come through and fight against the enemy.
Well, I thought what it was is they essentially choked the pass. There was this narrow pass, like a mountain on one side, mountain on the other. They're choking this pass to buy time, so that the people of the city, they had time to pack up and flee and leave, instead of being enslaved, raped, robbed, murdered. Everyone could pick up their shit, pick up a rucksack, take what they can carry, and then I think it was Athens at the time. I can't remember. I'm drunk. They got a big fleet. They could all flee, but they needed time. And then they bought those 300 men all died in order so that the 30,000 people can
can
leave
go to safety.
Yeah. Fight. You go somewhere else and start a city, and then retake up the fight. Yeah. That's if I remember correctly. But yeah. So that story's famous. Okay. So I was just listening to a video today. I listen to videos all the time. But one of the videos I was listening today was what's his name? Kingy MGTOW.
Yeah,
I know.
I like Kingy.
He's okay. Yeah, he's okay. I like him a lot. He's he's got a lot of good work. One of the ideas I'm really okay with. I'm really on board, and I keep reiterating it. I think that eventually men like us, we need to become like a secret society, if you will. We need to become we need to become a loose knit. I mean, who knows? Who knows how organized or how close knit we can become? But he says we need to become a silent order of men. I claim to understand men like Kingy MGTOW. So like him, I've been in trucking. Like him, I have a CDL. Like him, I was not in the military. My father was a Marine. My father was in the United States Marine Corps. Kingy MGTOW was a United States Marine. I don't know if you knew that. But this idea of taking fraternity, the fraternity of men, and turning it into something more organized, more deadly, more it doesn't have to be sinister. What we're doing is not wrong. I think what we're doing is right.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
He talks about how we can take this underground. Basically we need to become like the new Illuminati. We need to become more sophisticated. We part of MGTOW is self-improvement. I need to lose weight. Frank needs to move to America. You need to open up your own business. We need to up our game. We need to money up. We need to read up. We need to level up. I think that's part of it. I'll just say it again. Where this is going, ultimately, I think this is going to become political. Men need to start seeing themselves as a class of people with their own grievances, and we need to turn this into politics. If we can, I think
agree.
we will.
I agree.
Yeah, and this will.
I agree with
this
that.
will.
I like
This
that.
will go beyond race and religion. You will see Muslims and Christians shaking hands, saying we need to overthrow feminism. You'll see black and white men, and we'll be saying, we got bigger fish to fry. The government is going to start to enslave us based on our sex. We need to start intervening, and I think and I want to help that process along. I know that sounds crazy.
No, but I understand what you're saying. It's like, as far as taking the political, I agree with that, because it's like, if you have the silent order of men, and there's members of the silent order in Congress, things can get done.
Right. Eventually, yes.
Yeah.
Eventually, we need to move men into.
If you have a member of the silent order as a justice, things can happen.
Yes.
If you
Imagine-
have silent order members in Parliament,
Oh,
things can happen.
Right. No, okay. So what I would say to that is, okay, so you just made a huge jump. But okay, I think yes, yeah, no, you're totally right. But you just went from 0 to 100. I'm not even talking about Senate or the Congress yet. I'm talking about like, PTA meetings. I'm talking about like, city council. I'm talking real small. Yes, eventually I want to build to that.
But that's where it starts, because people can run for city councilman. They can get elected to senator.
Right. No, I agree with you. I'm just saying you just made a big leap. You're like, Senator, Chief Justice Clarence Thomas comes out as a MGTOW. It's like, no, not yet.
Hey,
I got a friend.
Listen,
I got a friend right now.
I could run for mayor.
I was gonna say I got a friend right now who's running for state rep here in a northern district here in Illinois. Him and I have had many conversations about all of this. He completely agrees. He basically is a MGTOW.
Good.
He's not married. He's not.
Good.
Yeah, he has no kids. He's not married. He's a university education. He works. He talks about all the stuff we talk about. But he says openly, he says to me, he confides in me. He cannot say openly the stuff that we're talking about.
Yeah.
It would sink his political career in a second.
Of course it would.
So
Imagine if Amber Turd took a big fat grumpy on the pillow. Grumpy, that's what Johnny Depp said. A big fat grumpy on the pillow of Elon Musk, and let's say that there are people lurking in all of our streams, all of our places, who are very influential in society. Let's say there are people who work for YouTube, people who work for FB, for Facebook, and all that. Let's say there are people out there who work for Microsoft or wherever, and they are aware, they've taken that crimson capsule. Hey, that's an internal explosion. That's like Fight Club. Remember Fight Club? Remember?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, and one of the scenes, I don't know, I forget, but all of the people working in the bar were like, "No, we're with you, sir." And obviously, Edward thing was Brad Pitt's alter ego, and they had that. But imagine if society was like that. We've always used, for many, many years, we've used these references to Fight Club. We use it to the Matrix and all that sort of stuff.
And the Matrix, yeah, the Matrix.
Yeah. So imagine if that was happening already. Imagine if Elon Musk woke up and found a big fat dump from an Amber Turd on his pillow, and he thought, "What the hell's going on here?" I think Johnny Depp might be a little bit woke, but just saying. Who knows? Just saying. Just saying.
Johnny Depp, man. I hope the best for that guy. I hope the best for him. I really do.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's whatever. What little I understand about that man, he's a hardcore leftist. So
he is, yeah.
In fact, this is a slightly different topic, but we should cover it if we can right now. I was just thinking about this today. I was thinking about the concept of men. See, you got all different kinds of men. Some men go along with all this. For example, this is just an example. My brother-in-law is a very, very, I would call him an alpha male. He's tall, white, Not blonde hair, not blonde hair, light brown hair. I think he's got brown eyes. Good musculature. He's a Chad looking fellow. Tall, dark, and handsome. Or I mean, he's white. But he's got dark eyes. He's my sister married him. He did very well for himself. He ended up getting his master's degree. He's a very wealthy financier.
Yep.
I remember, especially when they had first gotten married, he would witness. There were times when he would witness abusive behavior by my sisters, not just the sister that he married, not just my sister that he married, but my other sister. He would
Towards
witness
who?
that they're being abusive, and
To
he
you?
would allow it.
To you?
What's that? I'm
or
sorry?
Who towards whom? Like to you or to him?
Yeah, the girls would, everyone. The girls would be abusive towards each other. They would be abusive towards me, any other family members. You know, he would witness outbursts. He would even see that sometimes the women would be abusive to him. But the point I'm trying to make is, he went along with it. He essentially went along with what I would call the gynocentric system. This, where women are on top and they can't be questioned. You can't call them out. You can't publicly excoriate them. Well, what happens when men like that, who go along with the system, go along with the sisterhood, go along with this feminism, and then they get chopped, they get divorced? Amber Heard shows up at their door. Should men like us feel sorry for them? You guys have anything to say about that?
Not at all. Not one bit. Not one bit. Sorry, brother.
I feel sorry for him because I feel sorry that he didn't know any better.
Oh, I feel sorry for him.
That's what I'm saying. What if he did know better, but he purposely chose evil? He knew what he was doing.
Then there's no sympathy for that.
Does he deserve it?
No.
Does he deserve it? Should he be forgiven? Is there a learning curve?
No.
Well, I have to say, look, in 2008, I was a blue-pilled person. 2008, then Barbarossa came along, and I learned. It took a lot of years. That's fucking 14. Excuse my language. 14 years. So we learned. So all of us, I'm sure, former and cowboy, and people who are listening probably, we've all been in that situation. Blue pill. You think, well, what do? I marry this girl. This is the way God wants it. This is the way the church wants it. This is the way society maybe wants it. This is the honorable thing to do. Let's get married and do this and that. The other thing. We've all been there. A lot of us, most of the people in the man place, I call it man place, have been very good people with very good hearts and very good ethics and very good principles. And they did the best and they got the worst results. And so your brother-in-law, cowboy, look, once again, we don't want to see him dangling from a rope or going up the road instead of across the road, with a knife or even eating a lead bullet. That's the only reason I'm really here. Sometimes people say in the man place that we keep harping on about the same thing again and again and again. Well, we have a whole bunch of Generation Z boys coming up, and they don't know what they're doing. We don't want to see them hanging from a rope. We don't want to see them taking, eating lead and all that sort of stuff. So we have to do this. And I know that a lot of people in our sphere, Hammerhands, the Chronics, Paul Proteus, rest in peace. We have a lot of people, Joker, everybody, a lot of people, Sandman, TFMs, he's he's got to come back, but it's up to him. So we've got a lot of people here. And the reason we keep pushing the same shit is because we're going to get the same results. And that's why we do it. We're not harping. I don't give a fuck about a harpy. I don't give a fuck, about a woman. I mean, like when I say that, I mean, I don't care about being a Captain Save-A-Ho or anything like that. But we do this because we want to save lives. I have over 10 men that I know, brothers and elderly brothers, that have taken themselves out of life physically. Some of them are murder. Sorry, I shouldn't say that on here. Some of them have taken someone else out with them, and it's a female. And almost all, I believe all of those problems had to do with female-male intersexual dynamics. All of them. 10 of them. I could name them all, but I wouldn't. I would just give their first things. That's why I'm here. My longest time fighting suicide was, I shouldn't have said that either, 13 months to the day. And then, so we've got to look after each other, because that seems to be my call. And I guess that's what God's made for me. So we'll wait and see that, when people are in the dark places, well, maybe someone's there. In fact, we've lost one person from the sphere itself. And I won't mention any names, but they've taken themselves out, and I used to see them as well. So we've got to be very, very careful. Pop has about it, and Pop saved more people probably in this sphere than in the 3 theaters of war that he's been in. And Terrence Pop, we all know him, and he's up to about 400 and something. I don't know what he's at, and he's probably got a lot more who's never admitted it, probably never posted anything.
How many? Just out of curiosity, how many subscribers does Pop have?
Ooh, I don't know.
Does he doesn't share that?
It must be in the tens of thousands, if not. It must be in the tens. Yeah, Pop is a very.
I assume at this point, it's over 50,000. I'm sorry.
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, guys, it's very. I got to get off, man. It's like almost 6 o'clock here.
Oh yeah. Oh right. Yeah. Hey, listen. I'm sorry. It was a pleasure. Thank you very much. It was sort of an impromptu. If I may apologize, I had no intention. No. See, here's the problem. So I don't know. So here's the deal. I start work late tomorrow. I don't know. I didn't know. I had no intention on interviewing you, Mr. Forma, this evening. You just happened to call in, and then I happened to see you, and I happened to ask you to call in. So normally, I'm almost embarrassed, because I was not just drunk, but I'm also sick. So my voice is all messed up, and I'm all like slow, But yeah, I very much wanted to interview you. In a way, I did not like the way this interview went, because I feel like I wasn't able to direct. It wasn't as directed as I wanted it to be, but that's fine. It'll have to do for now, at least. I'm very, very happy with your work.
We could talk again, no problem. And you can
please, in the future.
You can always catch me.
In a month. In a month.
You can always catch me on a Shermanation or something.
The rest of you.
Yeah. In a month or two, maybe, if I can, coerce you or cajole you, to come on another panel. You're pretty well known in the community. Just out of curiosity, in fact, so you have to leave right now. If you want to take a second, can you shill your channel? How many subscribers do you have? I know you have more than me. Double or triple? You got like 8,000 subscribers now?
I had about 6, but people leave because I haven't been posting that much. So I don't know. I probably got like 5,000 something subscribers, but I hope everybody comes back, and I hope I can get more. But the thing is, guys, very busy, and I'm gonna try to put as much content as I possibly can. Just hang in there with me, guys, and I'll bring you some action. And you guys check me out on the Mr. Forma channel here on YouTube, and go through my old videos, go through the recent videos, send a comment, like, share, and subscribe. If you guys can get a hold of, if you guys can just write anything, if you guys want to hear any topics or anything, just let me know, and maybe I can talk about something specific. Other than that, man, stay loose, guys. Forma Force, man, join up, give me a sub, come on over, comment, tell me you don't like it, tell me you do like it, give me a thumbs up, a thumbs down. Just come on over and hang out with the Forma. That's all I can say.
Sure. Okay, great. No. Thank you very much for coming. I guess we'll leave it at that with Mr. Forma. Everyone, please head over to Mr. Forma. I've been subscribed to him for years at this point. I remember being a young trucker, just starting in my trucking career, and I would listen to long exposés of Mr. Forma. He's an out and out MGTOW. Yeah, and hopefully I will be able to convince him or cajole him to come back on at a later point in time. All right, Mr. Forma, I'm gonna see where you are. I'm gonna drop you. Here we go, Mr. Forma. Removed from stream, Mr. Forma. It was a pleasure. Thank you, sir. Excuse me. All right, who is that? No, I'm here with Frank now. Let's see. Angler. Angler dropped. I didn't see that Angler dropped. Okay, we're bringing in Angler again. Very good. Angler, we have a nice, solid connection with you, sir.
I think so.
Okay, I can hear you right now. Yeah, good. I can hear you very well. Oh shit, my camera's on. Fuck. I don't mean to do that.
My connection is very fucked up and everything is delayed. So I'm doing my best to listen.
Yeah, right. No, I saw you on earlier, and then you dropped out suddenly. I didn't really question it, and then once Mr. Forma got on, I said, "Everyone, get the fuck out," because I wanted to. I had been trying to contact him for months.
That was a good talk with Mr. Former, bro. He seems like a real cool chap.
Cowboy, hope you're feeling okay. Sounds like you got a cold and whatnot.
Yeah, right. Yeah. No, unfortunately, I think I'm at that like midway point, like where you know how if you know like the duration of like a common cold, where you like there's the onset, you can kind of just start feeling it, and then like maybe 2 or 3 days later, you're at your apex, and then it's whatever, the caseload starts going down, your body starts conquering it. How long does a cold last? Like 4 or 5 days?
I
I'm
usually
like
get
day
one
3 now, so.
like once or twice a year.
Yeah. So no, I'm definitely over the hill. I imagine actually I'll be feeling much better even tomorrow. But today, basically today was the worst of it. I was at work, and the boss, the owner, just happened to stop by, and he was like, even he noticed it. He was like, "Joe, your voice, or your voice, are you okay?" I was like, "No, I'm sick. Oh, I'm sick." And so yeah, no, but I'm whatever. I did the best. This is why I
Guys,
shouldn't. Yeah.
understand that everything that I hear it goes. So I'm trying to understand what you guys say. I don't know if it's my phone or if it's fucking YouTube. So I'm gonna do my best to listen to you guys. So you all talk, and I'll pipe in.
Yeah, no. At this point, I would say I would recommend that you get a new phone, because it's happened more than once. It's happened. Wow, with you, it's happened like probably at least half a dozen times. We're like, your audio is not coming in well. Your phone, your call will just drop. Everything just. I interviewed you once. Your phone, your call dropped like 4 separate times. I mean, I don't know. I'd recommend just do what I do. Just get a crappy burner. Well, right now I'm podcasting off of like a cheap $100. By the way, it was exactly $100. I think it was like $100 and some change. It was $89 at Walmart, and with tax, it was like exactly $100, $100 and like 10 cents. This is a $100 phone, and like it's all shot, it's all cracked up and everything. It has cracks all in it, but it still works. Just get a burner phone. Basically just up your game a little.
I reckon
Cowboy, when I speak, do I sound like I speak? I mean,
yeah. Right now, your audio is coming in real good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway,
delayed. Okay, I'll deal with it.
Oh, it's delayed for you. For you, it's delayed.
Yeah, I'll deal with it. We're good.
Yeah, no, that's fine. And you're you're in. No, I know. Remember, you're in Indiana. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Usually when it's like halfway around the world, I remember, for example, I've interviewed MGTOW. No, you're a hop, skip, and a jump. You're a hop, skip, and a jump for me. I don't understand why there's any problem, but I've interviewed MGTOW Matty, and he literally is like about as far as you can be from the continental U.S. You know, U.S. is northern hemisphere. He's far southern hemisphere. We're all the way west. He's all the way east. He's basically at the opposite end of the world, and he's so far that there's like a 1.5 to 2 second lag between our talking. So it ends up turning into like military talk, like blah 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 over, and then he talks. You're an asshole over. Like literally, we give like a 1.5 to 2 second over. We say, did you see that interview? Him and I were talking, and we just start saying over. It's true. It happened.
Roger that.
Oh,
Roger
anyway.
that.
Okay,
Oh,
let's get something on the table.
yeah. What's up? What's on the table?
Who's that?
I don't know what's going on. Oh, I see I see MGTOW Infinium. What's up, MGTOW Infinium? Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. I'm sorry, Infinium. I'm a little drunk. I'm usually not, but you know, I don't have work till late tomorrow. I only have a half day tomorrow, and it had been like 20 days since I had a beer, so I decided to get some beer. So sorry if I was a little loud, by the way. I get a little loud when I drink. Plus I'm sick, so I probably can't perceive as well. But anyway, Frank, are you there?
Yep, here,
Think
brother.
in Cowboys channel.
Yep, here, bro. Yeah, I'm here, bro.
Oh, okay.
Angler MGTOW. Angler, his phone's so shot. He can't even carry on a succinct, a straightforward,
Hanging on the best that I can.
I've heard salt
Yeah.
water.
It fucking repeats. Yeah.
Nah, just get a new phone. I mean, are times that tough economically? You can't afford a new
Oh
phone.
no! I think I'm going to Verizon. I'm gonna bitch tomorrow.
No, don't even go to Verizon. I'm telling you, honestly, become like a straight up. Just go to Walmart. Go to Walmart. Get a piece of crap
Well,
burner phone, $100 phone.
with the time that we have
don't
tonight,
skimp. Yeah.
with the time that we have tonight, let's not bitch about phones.
Oh yeah. No, you're right. I'm sorry. I feel you. Yeah, you're right. I shouldn't be going hard on anyone. I got the crappiest phone.
I'll figure it out.
You'll figure it out. Oh, as long as you're not waffling, cowboy. Yeah,
Fucking
Infinium.
cowboy.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm known as now. The guy who says many, many things, who just talks too much, So.
No, it's a good thing, bro. It's a good thing. Yeah. And Father
Oh yeah, no, I
Saunders
think it's a good thing too.
waffling. We're all wafflers. That's what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah. I went to the store. Today. I bought a potato. I bought one thing today. I bought a potato. And I bought one potato. It's on sale, 99 cents a pound. And because I knew, I got some broccoli, I got some cauliflower, I got some chicken breasts in my fridge.
Yeah.
But I needed that potato so I can cut it into many little pieces. And then, some broccoli, some cauliflower, take maybe half, maybe a little bit more than half of one chicken breast, cut them all up, not diced, but sliced, and throw it all into, fry it all up,
Good food.
Yeah,
Good food.
it's quick. Tastes good. Potatoes. Now, I don't know if potatoes good for
Quick
you,
and
but
tasty. Yeah.
yeah, quick and easy. Just how I like it. That's how I like my women. Quick and easy.
Well, they're all that way, brother. They're all that way, unfortunately. It is what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is. We're just describing a fact, not emoting.
Cowboy, you're going to get yourself in trouble.
What's that? I'm sorry, I didn't hear a good goddamn word you said.
All right, you'll hear it later.
Oh, okay, very good. Yeah, no. Last night oh man. All right, so here's the deal. I was at work, right, and then this dumb bitch calls me. And she's like, Joe, you want to roll through? I was like, yeah, no, roll through, yeah. And then this is true. This is true, man. This is true to life. I mean, my God, so anyway, so I pick her up. I could tell like a block away, like half a block away, 100 feet. She had the biggest shiner on her eye, on her left eye. No, her right eye. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, she had this because she's a girl and.
Are you talking about a black fucking eye, like a shiner?
Yeah. No, she works, and she's stupid.
Man, really?
Yeah. I was like, damn, what happened? And she told me the whole story, and I tell her all the time, like, why don't you change the way you live? She doesn't want to. She likes that party lifestyle,
Well,
But
yeah. Here's a story.
Yeah.
Here's a story.
You know what?
Sorry.
I'm not going to be able to get a boner for like 2 weeks.
well, if it makes you feel any better, she probably deserved it.
Well,
I mean,
I hope that oh fuck. You know what? I was just getting ready to say that I hope that you were nice to her and this, that, and the other, and then you got to go and say that she deserved it. And now I can't give shit about it.
I mean, I've never put my hands on her like that. I just don't believe in it. But
oh no,
I'm sorry.
But you just put your dick in her.
Well, not exactly. No, I don't have. No, I don't have.
You say not exactly. I mean,
no.
No fucking. There's no not exactly there. I mean, what'd you do? Put it in her fucking nose, or they say every hole is a goal, and I don't believe that. There's only. No, we don't. Do you know what I mean? Oh,
or no?
Come on now.
Okay, what I'm saying is like
maybe
we mess around.
Maybe
we mess around.
Maybe
we messed around.
Maybe we should back up. Let's back up to the black eye.
Yeah. Hello.
I'm here.
Yeah, Angler is so in and out. He just has a fucking piece of shit phone, dude. There's this one guy. His name is Jim. His name is Jim McIntosh. He's got the crappiest phone.
I know Jim
His
McIntosh.
phone.
Nice
Yeah,
guy.
his phone is so low quality. I've had to.
Good angler.
Let's back up to the black eye.
Okay. Let's back up to the black eye.
Mr. Former. Yes. Okay. Are we?
Wait, the black eye or the black guy?
Oh, the black eye. Oh, sorry. I'm the black guy, Mr. Former.
That was awesome. It was like, wait, the black guy or the black eye?
Lovely.
What?
Yeah.
Okay,
Lovely.
so basically, there's this bitch. Yeah, no, I caught that too. There's this bitch, and she's a bitch, and she, does things for money, but she sometimes she gets involved in like some very unsavory situations with characters that are also unsavory, and one thing leads to another, and who knows? I mean, I'm not going to share the details, but yeah, someone punched her, and she got a big black eye to show for it,
Yeah, does happen.
So for some reason, you're attracted to her.
I would word it this way. I've known her for many, many years. I'm of the persuasion. I'm of the idea that you should have a lot of sex with few people. You should not have a lot of sex with a lot of people, a lot of different people.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, well, and so I've known her for, I don't know, 7 years, 8 years, and we've had I mean, you know, I just she needs help, and I'm happy to help her, and she helps me, and just we're just people helping each other, and does that make any sense, Angler? I'll take that as a yes. Anyway, so I guess in a way, I'm gonna let Frank and I sort of take over the conversation because Angler seems to be like in and out, and his
Yeah,
connection is
y'all
not
kick me
exactly.
out. Go ahead.
No. I mean, you could stay in. In fact, you're welcome to stay in.
Oh,
But it's just like
yeah.
it's almost like you're Wow, that's interesting. I was gonna say you're like a handicapped person who only can make use of like one arm. But then I thought to myself, I shouldn't say that because you actually are a person like that. It's like you're a person who can help, but only in a limited way.
Limited.
he pops in and out. He pops in and out. That's men like that
You know
are
what?
they're still
Some of the
useful.
best things that I've done in my life has been listening. So I'm happy to listen to you.
Sure,
It's still useful.
sure. Well, then,
Thank you, cowboy.
well, then what I will say to that is I want you to listen to me, and I want you to get a new phone. It's about $100, and you'll be awesome, awesome. Wait, what was that? All right. So Frank, talk to me, man, because we can turn this into a double interview. I've been meaning to speak with you, Frank.
Yeah.
But we can do like a half interview because I don't want to go another hour. I want to go another 20 minutes. Can you and I compress? A very serious conversation into like half an hour?
I'll try my best, bro. That's all I can do. Yeah.
That sounds good.
Yep.
That sounds good. All right. Well, talk to me, man. What's the good word? I guess, yeah, why not? Let's make it into an interview. I'm just gonna have to cut it short. I can't do another 2 hours. Let's make it 20 to 40 minutes.
Yep.
Okay, so let's start from right now. This is an interview. I want to interview you.
Okay, bro.
I do Red Pill. I do Red Pill MGTOW interviews.
Yes.
Can you please introduce yourself? In fact, for that matter, I really don't know very much about you. I know you're from New Zealand, but can you take a couple minutes? I'm just going to stop talking. Can you take like 2 to 4 solid minutes and just talk? Who are you? What do you do for work? How many children do you have? Have you ever been married? Describe yourself. What are your hobbies? Just cede the floor to you.
Okay, well, I'm on the back 9 of my life, nearing the 50-year mark, nearing 50. On the back 9. So the autumn. One boy, he's estranged from me, was marred.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. So, yeah, Angler. Yeah, I was marred for 18 years. I lasted it. I was always faithful and stuff like that. For 18 years, I was faithful. Yeah, and so yeah, that's there. Getting on here. Yeah, that's what else? Work. I don't actually need to work at the moment. I'm fairly self-sufficient, fairly independent means, and I like to contribute to, say, the war band or whomever when I can, and I can, but I like to keep it thing. I don't like to disclose too much. I'm doing all right. Probably moving house soon into buying another property. It seems to be on the cards. It is what it is. That's So one child, one. I red pilled around Barbarossa when Barbarossa came out, and also Terence, Mr. Pop, big boy Pop. I always throw straws at that guy. That was the MRA times. I do not think we can do much with the MRA because I don't think that these situations are dependent upon political or socioeconomic or sociological. I'm not sure terms. I think they're dependent on the nature of the female. I know Good Mother seems to be a nice person. There are some good people, Karen Strawn, in the thing, but unfortunately, I believe I am a theist. I do believe in God, the Christian God, and that's and so I believe female nature is fixed. I believe the conditions of the society are set up in such a way that we cannot change them by any reform, any social reform. And I've had a lot of people around me, men who are friends of mine, who have left us, and they were all basically blue pilled. Now, I think the last person who left was before I even found the red pill, which was over a decade ago. So that's basically me, my brother. Yeah, cowboy. Yeah. Oh, am I on mute?
Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm back. I'm listening to you. While you were speaking, I was starting to prepare a dish, but I'm sorry, I'm back. Okay.
Oh, that's right. You cook, bro. We can make it a short interview if you want.
Oh, yeah, no, that's okay. It's so terrible. No, I'm sorry. It's like the most inconvenient time. All right. Well, no, that's okay. I can wait on that. We could easily do another 10 minutes. So you have a child. You have one child?
Yes, one son. He's 13.
And how old is he? I'm sorry?
13.
13. And you have shared custody, you have primary custody?
No.
It's totally estranged.
Estranged, yes.
I mean,
well, not completely. Can
you recognize his voice over the phone? Do you know what he looks like?
Oh yes, I can go there right now in 5 minutes. But the reason I chose not to do that is because there's a lot of backstory to that. So yeah, that's the reason. Well, I grew up in a church.
You grew up what now?
In a church, a very strong church environment.
Oh, you were very religious. Okay. Does your son? Do you have an amicable relationship with your son?
I think so. It's hardly a relationship, but I believe it's amicable. Yes.
How often do you talk to your son over the phone or otherwise?
Oh, maybe. This year I've spoken to him in person twice. Yes. I gave him money.
Yeah, right. So does he seek you out or no?
No, he doesn't. No.
That's not good.
It is what it is. I brought him up and never hit him. I'm not a violent. Well, I have the capability to do extreme violence, but I'm not a violent. I hate violence. Hate it. And many others do too.
Really?
I don't like
really. I love violence.
Well, I have the propensity for it, but I don't do it. I never did it with him. And
no, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying you would ever hurt your children. I'm just saying, like men, we are built for war, tribal warfare. I mean, it's okay to be strong.
Yeah. So, what I believe. Even though I've been red pilled for over 10 years, I've been researching narcissism. Just that specific. I'm no clinical doctor or anything like that. I'm not a psychologist or psychiatrist, not a psychotherapist or anything like that. But I've been researching that since the year and a half, and that's really helped me a lot to understand what happened in the 18 years of hell that I went through. So yeah, basically that. So he doesn't want to have a lot to do with me, but I've accepted that. I really have. I love him. I love my son, but the thing is, when someone cowboy, you have children, do you? Or I mean,
no. I'm 38. I'm 38 years old. I was my mother lost custody of me when I was 7. I was how can I put it? I was raised. I mean, I still saw her. I'm sorry, I don't know all the legal terms. She had like partial custody. My father had primary custody ever since I was 7. I was very, very close to my father. Very close.
Yes.
So I was raised, and also, my father was hyper masculine, or about, yeah. As I get older, I see that, he was also blue pilled, but, he was a United States Marine. He was a Chicago police officer. Now he's a federal police officer. He's, he has a beard. He's tough, big. He drives a big truck, When I was raised by him, I would lay down. He had a huge California king bed, and he would work so much. He would work 60, 70 hours a week. He would have 2 or 3 jobs.
Yes.
And I would go into his bedroom and lay on the opposite side of the bed and just talk with him every week, typically on like a Friday and a Saturday. And he anyway, long story short is, I wasn't really raised by my mom. I was much more influenced by my dad. And I think that's a good thing, at least for me. I think it turned out well for me. And I think that my father also had a heavy influence on my sisters, and all of them have turned out very well. So, so I'm very passionate about the idea of like making sure that father is in the life of the child.
That sounds very good to me. It sounds like you've got a really good dad. He looked after his whole family. Sounds like you're a very strong man and active in your life. That's a good thing. I really think that's a good thing. And also the statistics, all the stats that we got says that the most important thing is having a father, not a mother. They say we talk about the nuclear family. Nuclear family is the ideal, but if we wanted one out of the other, it should be the father. It is not, unfortunately.
I agree. Right. I've spoken about this at length. I have this terrible, terrible idea that, so there's like so much like obfuscation. Essentially, it's like deception. The feminists, they are remiss in admitting that it's the father that makes the difference. They lie. See, they lie, and they say, well, children grow up best in a 2-parent household. They use that term, a 2-parent household. But really what they mean is the addition or the subtraction of the male. The female, the mother, I think does not instill, I don't know what it is. I mean, I do claim to know what it is, but really it's like magic. The man has something that no one wants to admit. I think I know what it is. In one word, I'll say what it is, but first I want to hear, what do you think it is? You don't have to use one word, but in your own words, describe it.
Well, I would say, look, because I come from a theistic point of view, I believe that where was it? A stream I was on today. I think that the woman was made for the man. Was it the 1 Corinthians 11? I don't know. This is just my point of view. We have many people in our fellowship here, our brotherhood, who are atheists, who are agnostic, who are Buddhists, Muslim maybe. I think that man is not supposed to kowtow down to woman, but I think that the woman's nature was cursed, whereas the man's nature was not cursed. And I think they'll have to live with that. And so I think that the very best thing in the world.
Yeah, I guess I agree with that. I agree with that statement, but I just come from much less of like a state of like religiosity. So I was also raised in the church. I wear a ring every day. The single most expensive piece of jewelry I wear. I wear many pieces of jewelry. Probably the most expensive piece of jewelry that I wear is a ginormous gold ring.
Mm-hmm.
And my father had it custom made for me. My father. So I went to a Catholic grammar school. I went to a Jesuit Catholic high school, and then I went to a Jesuit Catholic university. Upon graduating from high school, my father had this, what's it called, like a high school ring, big high school ring.
Yes,
and yeah. And my father, he's I don't know how to describe it. I would use the word gang or mafia. I'm not kidding. My father is a member of Opus Dei. Have you heard of Opus Dei?
That's a Catholic organization, I believe. Yeah.
Sure, you can use the word organization. Yeah. And if Sweet Padre, if you're listening, you would do yourself well to research these certain organizations like the Jesuits, or the organization I just brought up right now, Opus Dei. So Opus Dei is essentially the layman's the word is layman. The layman's form of the Jesuits. They are the civilian branch of the Jesuits, and so I'm tied in with these people. In Chicago, if you see, most of America is not Catholic. Most of America is Protestant, but there are certain places where Catholics have a lot of power, and there are certain places where Catholics are many, and wherever they are many, they tend to they form a political bloc. And Chicago is one of these places. Chicago is a lot of Polacks, there's a lot of Mexicans, there's a lot of Irish. These are all Catholic groups. Chicago is a Catholic city, and that's represented in our politics and how things are run here. Who runs the courts? Who knows who's granddaddy? And anyway, so I got my fair share of religion.
Yeah.
But, I would word it this way. I see the Catholic Church as a political organization, and they can help you out. They can help you out.
Yes. There are like the Mormons as well can really help you out if you're a Mormon, especially getting a job or something like that. The Mormon people.
Sure.
I've got nothing against Mormons at all.
No, not at all. There's some things I like about them. Did you know that 60%? Did you know that 60% of all FBI agents are Mormons?
I did not know that. No.
That's right. 60%. 6 out of every 10 FBI agents follow one religion, and it's a very tiny sect of Christianity here in the United States. When you, it's all about pattern recognition. You got to recognize like who is who. Like a lot of people talk about like how come the Jews are in the upper echelons of government? How come the Mexicans run all the landscaping businesses in Chicago? How come all the Irish run City Hall in Chicago? How come the Catholics run? It's pattern recognition. Who's doing what? Anyway, I'm sorry. What were we talking about just prior to this?
Well, you're sounding now like Father Saunders, with all my love to him. We're always forgetting.
Oh, right. No, that last beer. I just had 6 beers tonight. That last beer's kicking in.
That's good, brother. That's all right, bro. 6 sounds like a good number to me. 6 sounds like a good number.
Yeah. Well, I do work tomorrow, so I can't be getting all trashed. Like Pulse Kebab. Pulse Kebab gets trashed all the time.
Oscar's always trashed. That's all right. I don't mind. I'll get trashed with him. We got our angler back again, and let's hope he's not under water some of the time and then out of the water. So, angler, go ahead, brother. Angler? Oh,
right. See what I'm talking about? Like I let him back in. It's his phone. It's his phone. No, honestly, it's his phone. He got this crappy phone, and it's in and
I'm
out.
trying to figure it out.
Right. No, I understand. You're trying to figure it out, but what I'm saying is like you're like Jim McIntosh. Like your phone is just not good enough to like to run with the big one. You know what I mean? You're like a busted, broken transistor on like the Apollo. Houston, there's a problem.
Yeah, Cowboy, it's a piece of shit. So I downloaded an app. It helped on the back end, and I think it's helping here on the front end.
Okay, all of that is
it's still echoing. But anyway,
all of that is fascinating. All of that is so fascinating. But as my father would tell me, I don't give a fuck. It's your problem.
Joe.
Fix the problem. Once you fix it's like my father would always tell me about like, see, Joe, in this world, there's like me problems and you problems. Sorry, what? Angler? Oh, see, there he goes again. See, and that's the problem, as I was just saying. Yeah,
Cowboy.
no, it's no worries. Yeah, what's up?
I'm a confirmed Catholic. I went through everything that you talked about.
What?
And it's funny that we have the same name.
Confirmed Catholic.
Joseph, a person from the Bible, but
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, see, that's the problem. Like, I'm not hating on you. I'm not hating. I'm just saying it's very difficult to carry on a cogent conversation when your phone is like it's the
okay.
conversation the voice, your voice is dropping every
Right.
15 seconds. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm gonna bow out. I thought I fixed it with this goddamn app that I got. Like it fixed it on the back end. I thought it was fixed it on the front end, but yeah,
yeah, no,
I'll
no.
be
What
back.
I'm saying is, eventually, I know for a fact. I could tell because you're working towards it. You will eventually fix this problem. I recommend you just bite the bullet. Just bite
Oh,
the
God.
bullet. Spend the $100. Go to the store. Let your balls drop. Feel the breeze as your balls sway. You know, in the breeze, and say, "Yes, I've solved this problem." Get a new phone, and then just you know, I tell Jim McIntosh all the time. Moving on. Anyway, yeah, no. So I have to close this up in like 5 minutes. Is there anything else that I can bother you with for 5 minutes, Frank?
Whatever you want, mate. I've got
Well, how about
one.
this? Let's start with. Can you please promise me that I can have like a full formal interview with you again sometime after the 28th of this month? My contract. I get 20 hour. I get my 20 hours renews in like 3 days, 4 days.
Well, anytime. I don't mind. There's nothing much to talk about with me, but if it helps anyone, then it helps someone. That's the only reason I'm here. So yeah. Oh, anytime, of course. Yeah. I can.
Okay, let me bug you. Let me bug you. Let me bug you a little bit more about your son. Just because I'm curious. I am, and because partially I want to have a son too. It's one of my highest goals. I talk to Angler and I say, you know, that Angler, he's a real fucking asshole. But you know what? He's got a son. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, Angler. I know you probably can hear me. I'm kidding. I don't think you're an asshole. I'm drunk. I'm trying
I
to
know.
be,
The
gregarious.
the best form of flattery with your friends is when you can insult them, and say you're a. You know, I mean, in my country, the C word is a form of flattery because you've got your
Right.
mates. So yeah.
Right,
So you can
right.
say anything, yeah.
It's not the Union Jack. It's the Union cunt.
It's the word cunt. It is the word cunt. You say we call each other that all the time. So yeah.
Right now, you know, I think about that. The concept, the concept of having a son. This little version of me. Man, wow, what a scary idea. It's great. It's glorious, but it's also very scary. And I just have this idea that, like, man, I got to build myself up, and I got to have all this money, and who knows? Who knows if I'll ever have a son? Hopefully I do. Hopefully I do. But you I guess what I'm trying to say is I have this idea that you probably should be in your son's life a lot more than you are now. What do you think about that?
I give him money. I could give him
That's
money
not enough,
now.
though.
Well, the problem is there is a problem. I've made. Have you seen Johnny Depp's thing with Amber Heard? This is funny because Johnny Depp it only came out a couple of days back. He, in one of his statements, he made a vow to himself and to Amber Heard that she would never see his eyes addressing him face to face again. Now, I made a vow. Was almost 2 years ago, that she's never going to hear my voice again addressing her. That is how much contempt I had. You told a story before. I'll tell a story about a friend of mine. Here's a friend of mine, and he was in a bad situation with a relationship, and this friend of mine can fight very well. He doesn't even have to fight in this circumstance. But he was in a bad situation, and there was a female who was about to leave, standing at the top of the stairs, and this man was going to take her away from this place, this life, easily. My friend, a friend of mine, long time ago now, quite a while.
I get it.
But he didn't. He told me, this is allegedly too. This is what my friend told me. Allegedly, he went back to his.
Cover all your bases legally. Cover them all. Allegedly, the first one.
Allegedly,
Gotcha.
He went back to his room, and he waited for them to leave. Now, this my mate, he supported the boy and all that sort of stuff. But see, here's the thing. This is why I researched NASA. This is why Angler, because Angler's got a whole library, I believe. Like Angler knows, I wish he could fix his phone. Got a whole library about the cluster B personalities, the psychopath, the sociopath, borderlines, all that sort of stuff. The amber herds, amber turds. So it would be good to have him here. But when you've been relegated for a long time, as my friend did, for such a long time in such a world of hurt, like a hurt locker. I mean, the stories that my friend could tell, geez, they're unending, longer than 5 minutes. Well, they really diminish, I suppose, the human soul. And that's why a lot of us are in this place that we're in. And so that's basically, yeah, it's one of those things that you don't want to get involved in that sort of stuff, because it's not you, but
No, I know the general you know. So, but if that's the case, like you say, then why'd you marry her?
You mean my friend or me?
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant your whole right. I'm sorry. I'm not that drunk, am I? No, what I meant to say is your friend. Your friend. You're right, your friend. Why was your friend dumb enough to marry her? You know?
Well, that was 2000.
I know.
2005.
I know.
2005.
I know. Your friend was a different version of himself, wasn't he?
He was a very different person. Also, he thought that was doing the right thing. Now, my friend was not a virgin when he married. He'd had his time in the sun, but that was not for want of looking for the perfect unicorn, right? This is before, I think this is almost before the internet was just started. There was no YouTube then. There was no community. And so there's no way in the world that this knowledge...
So men were not talking amongst themselves, exchanging notes.
Exactly, Cowboy. Yeah, men were not talking about this. And that's why we are a threat. That's why that's why Ribby will be a threat, big threat. He's just passed, 101 threat pop. A lot of us, that's why Chronic's on is 14. Hammer's, good grief. They just, for no reason at all. And it happens again and again. We are threats. We are threats to them.
Yeah, no, I agree. No, we don't represent something positive in their worldview.
No,
there's a gentleman I know, spoken to him before. I actually interviewed him. What's his name? I can't remember his name. I think it's MGTOW Matty. Man, he's a real loser. Yeah, that guy's a loser. Man, he married this woman. And man, he's a loser. If he was here right now, I'd call him a loser. And he married a woman, and same basic protocol. You know, she says she's going to be nice. He marries her, which is just another way of saying he signs a contract.
Yes.
He signed a contract with the woman, giving her all kinds of, granting unto her all kinds of legal powers over his sexuality, over his money, his earnings, his future earnings, the legality of who owns a child. And then she divorced his ass. And then he's been making homegrown brew. He's been making homemade alcohol ever since.
Yeah.
And you know, he copes the best way that he can. I suppose we all do. But I asked him that same question, if I remember correctly. Why the hell would you marry her? He had the same basic answer. He's like, no, I didn't know. And no one told me. So, you know, how come we're not telling these men? I don't understand.
I could go and take my son tonight, but why would I want to do that? That's the problem. I've got recordings like Johnny Depp actually did. Well, it was 3 years ago. 3 years ago, I've got recordings.
Oh yeah. Oh no. I agree. MGTOW Matty's a total loser. Or no, wait. I'm sorry. What were you talking about?
Well, I could go and get him now, but if he chooses not, if he chooses,
I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing with you, Matty. I know you. I saw you in there. I'm just messing with you. Anyway, no, I'm sorry. You could see your son. You could see your son tonight. You could see your son tomorrow. I mean,
Yes.
go ahead.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want to see you though.
Not particularly, no, which is unusual, but that's okay because the thing is, you have to understand because that's why Angler, I wished he could be clear. He knows about the tricks that these rotten black people, but not black. When I say black, I mean black-hearted, not black people. In fact, I have a bit of
So you're saying you hate black people here in America is what you're saying.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Yes, and put it on record, write it down, put it on a stenographer. No, what I mean is black-hearted people who have black hearts, but they wolves in sheep's clothing, right?
Yeah,
Wolves.
no, I understand. I understand. Dark, bad, malicious, evil intended.
Yes.
Yeah.
Narcissists. Yes.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I could do that, but she was always afraid of me. But there's no reason for her to be afraid of me. I'm capable. We're all capable of this stuff, but not me. I mean, I'm capable, but I never did it. I got a document from her after the first discard, which was over 3 years ago, about 3 years ago. And I kept that document, not one document, it's a whole bunch. It's like a Bible, a little Bible. 90% of it was false. 10% of it was true. I'll admit to that. I do like to drink. I'm in a much better place now. So that's how it goes. And with my seed, my son, I've done really well for him. I had him till he was 11 and a half, 11. And I
I didn't know that. You had primary custody of your son until he was 11?
No, joint. But she was a cold
joint.
Yeah, she was a cold cunt the whole time. I would get 6, maybe 6. Not even. It's not about sex, as they say. Maybe 4 times.
Well, I mean, it's not, but it is. It's part of there's an equation, and that's sex is definitely part of the equation.
It ought to be an expression of love, but it's not. And obviously, as we know from TFM's landmark video, She'll Never Love You, which he actually
That's a great video. That's a great video. I've watched that video probably like 4 or 5 times.
A magnum
That's
opus.
A great video.
It is great.
That is his master work. I agree. That is his master work. Yes. That is his most famous video, I think. She Will Never Love You.
I told him that once before I think it was on Pop's channel. I don't know where it was, but I did say that's one of your best. And so that's an indication. Now, look, I had a 4-pack. I was look. I'm not boasting, but I was pretty good, bro. I was pretty good. I don't look terrible. I'm pretty good. I'm working hard. Got a good job. Got money coming in. Landed property. The whole lot. The whole work. Lots of money. Which she siphoned off me. The bitch.
Yeah, but you were inexperienced enough to put a woman in a position of a certain level of power, and she immediately went to using that power against you.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, we're in the backyard here. This is the woman. Look, I tell you what, we'll just be brief, right? Are you looking at your camera, bro? Yeah.
Oh no. Here, I'll start looking at it right now.
Okay, bro. Okay, then. There you go. And I don't give a fuck because, like, I've been through the worst in the world that you probably could.
Divorce court, man. I'm telling you, it hurts. It hurts. It's you've been scarred. You were mistreated.
There you go, mate. That's the missus. See that?
Can you hold it like 3 or 4 inches behind you? Can you pull it back a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. I actually see it better like that. So I'm seeing like 6 people in the top left corner. Is that her?
Yeah. There you go.
Okay.
So that's what I had to deal with. It's all good. I mean, for me, but the thing is, I think no contact, after I've been studying narcissism, and the best thing to stay away from someone who is a wolf in sheep's clothing, who is a pretender, who is a skinwalker, is a fake ass motherfucker, is to stay away from them. That's what I do. Now,
yes, I agree.
Yeah, my son has been perverted by all the family, and all the family. The funny thing is, the funniest thing is, these motherfuckers, excuse my language, they they run out of money soon enough. I know what I've got. I'm fairly content with my life. But these guys, they spend hand over fist. They spent my money when I didn't have much. Now I've got a little.
Right. No, I get it. No, it's all about. No, I totally get it. Okay, first off, let's take what you just said. You started talking about like narcissists and stuff. And okay,
Yeah.
so I claim to be I don't want to use the word educated, but yeah, educated on this.
9 years.
Spanish
9
is my
years at
major.
school, bro. Pretty good.
I'm sorry.
You said you had 9 years at university?
Yes, right. I was on the super senior plan.
Yeah, that's very good. Very good.
But what I was going to say is I'm also an autodidact. For many years, I personally taught myself psychology. So
Yeah.
let me give you an example. In the world of psychology, it's called the let me see if I can remember. It's called the what is it? You got the golden child, the silent child, and the black sheep. I remember. Okay, I would be the black sheep. The narcissistic family dynamic is what it's called. Have you ever heard of the narcissistic family dynamic?
All I know about that is that narcissism is a choice, not a mood disorder, but a behavioral disorder, which is a matter of choice. And
there you go. I agree with that. Right. I agree. Right. I'm an objectivist. I believe in objectivism. I think that you can study these things. I believe that things can be scientifically measured. I think that you can measure, or let's say detect objectively what you can call universally preferred behavior. And so therefore you can actually detect or root out what you can call evil.
Yes.
Okay, so
yes, I agree.
there's something called the narcissistic family dynamic. Again, this is a theory. Okay, this is a theory. I'm not saying that this is scientifically backed, but it's theory. I've heard of it. I think it reminds me of my family. So the idea goes something like this. And I can't remember who. I'm sorry. Typically, you want to also cite it. You want to cite studies that promote it. You, at the very least, you want to cite the name of it, which I did. And you also want to cite the progenitor of it, or the creator of it. Can't remember anyone can look it up. It's called the narcissistic family dynamic. Yeah. The idea goes something like this: a narcissistic family resembles a solar system, and a healthy family resembles a galaxy. Mm-hmm. The galaxy has many, many hundreds of different stars. They all are important. They all shine, if you will.
Yes,
they are all. I'm sorry.
I understand what you're saying. One revolves around one thing, one person, probably in that case, and the others are all stars in and of themselves. But
there you go. Right. Yeah. There you go. You're starting to get it right away. You're starting to get it. Yeah. So in the galaxy metaphor, they're all individual stars. Yes, some stars are bigger. Yes, some stars shine brighter or lesser so, but they're all stars, and they all have a certain modicum of respect that let's say is due to them. However, in the narcissistic family dynamic, it is described as a solar system with one star, and that star is the narcissist, and the narcissist demands through all kinds of behavior, passive-aggressive behavior, relational aggression, that all the other members of the family orbit, if you will, around the narcissist.
Yes.
And typically, according to this theory, and again, you look it up, it's called the narcissistic family dynamic. The narcissistic family dynamic, look it up. It's typically a parent. It could be both. It's usually one. And they create this whole dynamic where it's like, it's all about them. They're the star of the show. It is a matter of fact. They are going to be abusive. You're going to get hurt. Everyone's going to get hurt. But it sort of becomes this like jockeying position. Who's going to get hurt the least? Who's going to be at the bottom of the totem pole? Who's going to be the biggest bitch? Yes. And what is it? Sorry, I can't remember all the details. It's been years since I looked it up. But
it's not Professor
youngest child.
Vaknin? I'm sorry, Vaknin. It's not Vaknin.
Sam Vaknin. No, I don't think it's Sam Vaknin. No, I don't think it's Sam Vaknin. You can look it up. The narcissistic family dynamic. Anyone can look it up. It's typically one parent, and then the other parent is like the closest satellite or planet, and then it goes out from there. And the first child is I think the first child is the golden child. Second is the silent child. The third is the scapegoat. I was the third child. I believe I was the scapegoat. I absolutely have become convinced I was the scapegoat child of the family, where like all of the frustrations, all of the failures, all of the problems, and all the negative emotions that are emoted from all the family members are dumped onto the scapegoat child.
Black sheep.
The black sheep, sure, you can call it that if you want. Yeah, the power is once you start learning about psychology, you realize, aha, this is a scam. You guys are playing a game, and I figure out your game.
Yeah.
And so it changes. It's there's an old axiom in Roman law. Hold on a second. There's a drip in my sink. Hold on a second.
No worries, Mark. No worries.
There's this old axiom in Roman law that says, let he who would be deceived be deceived. And the idea behind it is essentially it's legal to exploit someone. However, it is not legal to enslave someone, or if the person is a free person, like a free merchant, someone who's free to walk, who's a person who's free to live on the land.
Yeah.
So let's say you're a free person, I'm a free person. I'm free to sell you a bushel of wheat, and I'm free to accidentally not fill the bushel up completely. Maybe it's 10% empty. I'm only selling you 90% of 100%, and so I'm cheating you by 10%. I'm free to do that.
Okay.
But I'm not free to disallow you from having your own set of balances. To allow you to have your own set of for you to have your own set of balances or your own set of scales to measure it yourself. Yeah. And then once you realize that you're being cheated, you're allowed legally to speak up in your defense. And if you do that, and I still demand that you purchase the product, then it becomes a form of slavery. Then it becomes illegal. So what I'm trying to say is there's a difference between exploitation and oppression. Lying to someone is legal.
Yes.
But once a person proves that you're lying and that you're screwing them over, then you lose your legal footing. Does that make any sense?
Makes perfect sense. Yeah, a fool falls by his own way or her own way. So I mean, they've let themselves wide open for it to be foolish. It's what it is, you know. You get ganked. You know, like they gank your money, they gank your car or something. They gank one of your personal possessions. Yeah. And so, you know, you should have locked your car, or at least have an alarm on your car, or you know, made sure your wallet was in a good place. Yeah, I understand that. It's immoral, but I suppose in jurisprudence it was that way in the Roman Empire. Yes, I understand.
So the idea that I'm trying to set up is that according to like ancient Roman law, it was in fact okay to try to lie to people. But once they can prove that you are in the wrong, you can no longer get away with lying to them if it were to benefit them, whatever, financially or otherwise. Yeah. And then you become the victim legally, and then like you can sue them, or you can if you can prove that you're being screwed, then you have a case against them. So what I'm saying is like, oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry, no, carry on. Sorry, love. Sorry.
No, that was basically it. Like, so, you know, the idea behind like the narcissistic family dynamic, I believe is it should be, we need to, okay. I remember what I'm trying to say is we're becoming too smart for our own good. We really have, in my opinion, figured out, not completely, but we are starting to figure out the psyche of the male and the female of the species.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah. And I remember having this exact same conversation with MGTOW Maddie, and I was using the analogy of the age of exploration. So I guess I'll use it again.
Mhm.
In the, I think it was like the late 1300s, definitely by the early 1400s, all of these future to come empires, the Portuguese, the French, the Spanish, the English, the Dutch, they started sending out not just trading ships, but they would add like an explorer component to them. They would add these, a group of like 15 to 20 men with enough reserves to go deep into like the heartland of all these lands that they would contact. And essentially they sent out navigators, cartographers, and explorers to go map the world. If you look at the world maps that were known at the time in the year 1400, and you were to compare them to the world maps of known knowledge in the year 1600, so 200 years difference, 2 centuries, from the year 14 to the year 16, you would notice a start. If you looked at the map in the world map, if you looked at a world map in the year 1400, you wouldn't really see much. I mean, we definitely knew about like the Mediterranean world, the Greeks, the Romans, the Egyptians. They had been mapping they had been mapping that area for centuries and centuries.
Yes.
Kind of knew about Europe kind of pretty well. North Africa kind of pretty well. But once you move away from that, like we really didn't know much beyond Syria. That we call that area Transsaxonia. We knew there's this place, we call it China today. We knew there was something out there. We didn't know. We didn't, we never even knew of the existence of the Americas, New Zealand, Australia, all the islands of Indonesia. We didn't have any of that in the year 1400. But just 200 years later, we knew of the existence of Australia and Mexico, North America, South America, the whole southern half of Africa. We put it all together. We still didn't know all the details. All the islands of Macronesia, Polynesia, Micronesia, all of the inlets, all the bays, all the peninsulas, but we had a nice rough, you know what I'm trying to say?
Estimation, yeah.
Yeah. We had we didn't know every detail, but we had the big picture. If you look at a map in the year 1600, we mapped most of the major land masses. So I say that to say this. That's how I see psychology. Psychology is, I see it as a soft science that's increasingly being reconciled with hard science, with neurology, brain science.
Yes, I think
200
you're
years
right.
ago, I'm sorry.
Sorry, no, I think you're right. Yes.
Oh no, just to finish that thought, to come completely around. So I'm comparing cartography to psychology. In the year 1400, we didn't know what was going on. By the year 1600, we had a general idea. We still had a lot of work to do. That's how I see psychology now. We started off 100 years ago, maybe just over 100 years ago, even thinking in these terms in a scientific way about psychology and the human mind. And so we've been mapping the human psyche for years, for decades now.
Yes.
And it's very not nice to say this. It's very not nice, but I think it's true. We're figuring out, and that's another thing. We started with men. We didn't start with women. We started with men, and most of them were in like penal colonies, men in prison. I don't know why that is, but that's another topic for another time. We understand male psychology, and now increasingly we're starting to understand female psychology. And from everything I claim to have learned, it's all mostly bad. I know it's not nice to say that. Women really are bad. They're lazy. They're selfish. Hybristophilia, hypergamy, the female dual mating strategy, solipsism, what is it? The 6 stages of moral development. All of these are scientifically proven. We have multiple studies, not just one study. We'll take the same study and replicate it in all these other different countries, and we find the same. Women really are like just totally selfish, totally solipsistic. If that's the case, we need this eventually gets to power and politics. We need to move towards, we need to take away some of women's rights because they can't handle them.
Well, TFM has probably the foremost proponent of that, repeal the 19th. Seems pretty obvious to me, but it doesn't mean that it's toxic masculinity. It means that it's like, even in those days, the old days, even people who were males who didn't have any landed empires, landed property, they couldn't vote either if they didn't have landed property. So I think that's exactly what TFM's point was. Gone largely ignored. Sorry. I think that's well, I mean, if let's say there's a board meeting tonight. What is it? Yeah, it is tonight. Yeah. Let's say I go into a board meeting tonight, and I say, well, I disagree. I'm going to cast my vote. I get thrown out of there. The bouncers, whoever, security would toss me out of there. Okay. Because I don't have a stake in the company. Now, if you don't have a stake in the company, you can't vote. You can't cast a vote. I'm not on the board of directors. So when it comes to war, which is, I shouldn't have said that word on here, but when it comes to
That's okay. That's okay.
conflagrations happening in Europe at the moment. Or
There you
anywhere.
go. A conflagration. I love that word.
Conflagrations, yeah. When it comes to that, I don't have a right to vote because I don't have a right to serve. I'm not going to serve. You know, if I'm not going to serve,
I hear you. I hear you.
then I don't
No, I
have
know,
a
right? You
right.
have to match.
I
You have to
don't
match
have a
one
right to
with the
send.
other.
I don't have a right to send you to go and die, get your ass blown off in some fucking foreign country. Excuse my language.
No, yeah,
because
we'll
I
send you to Gallipoli. You get your ass blown off.
Gallipoli, yeah, and because I want to shag Chad and Tyra, whoever the fuck it is, I don't have
But
any right.
what if you were like MGTOW Matty, like a total loser who drinks too much and then he loses his child and he's having to pay tens and tens of thousands of Aussie dollars for just a dumb mistake? Would you laugh at him?
No.
Does a man like that deserve to be laughed at?
No, because
does he laugh at himself? Do you think he laughs at himself, or does he cry at night?
I'm not sure because I'm not too familiar with him, but I do somewhat know him. I would think that rather than casting stones at him, I can do anything I want right now. I could go and grab my son if I wanted, pull him up. He would be afraid of me, probably, even though I never hit him in my life.
He would be afraid.
He would be afraid. He would be afraid. And
see, but that's because you, and this is, you know, in a way, this is me casting shade on you, or in the ghetto here in Chicago, they call it putting people on blast. I'm going to put you on blast. I just heard of this last year. The reason why you've lost him is because you allowed a certain amount of time to go by in which time he was allowed to be indoctrinated by all these other ideas, and you were not able to fill him with your values, and so someone else came in and essentially stole the mind of your son. I'm not saying that it's your fault. I think there are laws now that prevent a man from properly raising his son, but regardless, that's how I look at it.
When I was 11 years old, I tattooed my own knuckles, and it went so deep. It went like almost half an inch deep, and I tattooed all my arms up by myself, just by myself.
Yeah.
The boys I hung with. This is going back to 1983.
That's the year I was born. That's the year I was born.
You were born. That's right. So I tattooed myself up, and then what's more, after a little bit of while, a bit of a time, because there was gangs, like gang shit, I ripped them out. I didn't care. I just ripped them out of my hands. I don't really care. I'm kind of built like that. My son, had I been his age, which is about 13, I would have walked back regardless. Swamps, crocodiles, snakes, guns. I would have walked back to my father, had my mother, who's got one leg now, taken my son, taken me out of that situation. I would have walked back to my dad. My son
Sure.
didn't do that. My son didn't do that. That's okay. That's on my son. It has nothing to do with the way I brought him up. I brought him up very well. I stopped going to my church for the simple reason that my abuser, that sounds funny, doesn't it? I could throw my abuser on top. My abuser's
You
like
mean your wife? You mean your former wife?
former, yes, former. I could throw her on top of the roof and then do whatever I wanted to do. I can do whatever I want to do.
I
I
know.
didn't.
I know.
Never did.
You
Never did.
know who couldn't do that is Angler. Angler MGTOW. He can't do that because he's got a bum knee. He's got a bum foot. He's got a bum leg. He's got a bum knee. He's barely ambulatory between Tuesday and Thursday. But who knows? Maybe he shares the same sentiment. If he was able to be an able-bodied man, maybe he would do something like that. But he can't.
It's a good jab. It's a good jab. I reckon Indy can't even light a smoke. I keep listening to him, and I know it's him doing this. Listen to this. I know it's not me. It's Indy. And he's saying,
right.
You ain't country boy.
Yeah, right. No, I like him in that way though. And he's right. I will never be country like that. I just have an appreciation for the country. I think they have superior values. I think they have a sense of community, and I claim to know because I lived in the country, and those people are different, and I like them. Overall, I like them.
That's why we love Indy. That's why he's got a place with us. So yeah, that's right. So,
yeah.
We can make fun of each other because, like, I mean, how many times have we seen Saunders go to sleep? How many times have we made fun of him naked as a little squirrel, big squirrel? He's got a big back and everything. How many times do we make fun? That's when you know you got a good thing going on. Is when you can make fun of something.
Yeah.
Someone came up.
Yeah, no, we've become a motley crew. Again, though, I moved past that. My dreams are much loftier than that. They're mired in. I want political power. I want to change the system. I want men to be able to walk around. Yeah, I mean, of course, Angler can't do this because he can't walk, but we'll get him in a wheelchair. You could wheel his ass around, but while I walk tall, we could walk around and stand tall. But that's part of it. I feel that these feminists that there's this agenda. They want to rob us of our dignity. Yeah. No, it pisses me off. I want to change the system. I want men to have more political power. I want to change the laws. And my goal is to change the laws by changing the culture, by getting so many men to start thinking like us, that fewer and fewer and fewer men start getting married. And then, Roe versus Wade, look what's happening here in the United States. Now they're dismantling Roe versus Wade. In China, they won't even allow a woman to get an abortion anymore. They don't care. They claim they're communists. They claim they believe in women's rights, but they unilaterally took away women's rights. That just happened a couple months ago.
I think, Cowboy Bro, that the MRA movement is not sufficient because it's look. You remember Barbarossa, and you remember
Sure.
Our friend, I forget his name at the moment.
Stardust?
No, they were good friends. They are good friends, but Bernard Chapin, Wandering Cauldron.
Oh yeah, Chapin's Inferno. Whatever happened to him? A wandering cauldron of politically incorrect discourse. That was his tagline.
That's right. I'm not sure what happened. He was a nice enough guy, but they differed on a fundamental element of things. One was Bernard was religious. I think Barbarossa was, at least at some stage, religious at some stage in the Christian sense. But they differed on the means of getting change. Barbarossa said this is inherent to female nature. That's what actually scripture, the Christian scripture, whether people believe. I don't. MGTOW, red pills, cool. I'm cool. They differed on that because Bernard thought that we can get about this change in the same way that the MRA movement could do. It never came to fruition. It couldn't come to fruition. It will never come to fruition because unless you change the nature of a person, it's the same old stuff.
No. That's what I'm saying. There will be no changing the nature of the person. There will be no changing the nature of the female. What I'm saying is, like, for example, I love using examples. In France, 3 days ago, I was talking to a Frenchman, and he was telling me, this country is not even France anymore. It's so full of Muslims. A fully 1/3 of the population are Muslim. And now some of them are starting to talk. There's rumblings that they want to bring in Sharia law. Under Sharia law, women lose the right to vote. Once it gets to the point that the majority of people in France are Muslim, what do you think would actually happen if they voted for Sharia law and they voted it in? And I mean, do you see where I'm going?
Well, there will be Arabic. That's a bad thing. Islamic terrorists at the gate, barbarians at the gate, and they will rape all the women. Whoopsie daisy. Yeah. They will grape the woman, and no one will say anything about it. It's like Germany, and was it 2015, I think.
In Cologne, right? There was some famous incidences. I think it was during the New Year's celebration. There was literally dozens and dozens. I think there was well over 100 documented cases of groping and sexual assault or whatever. Right.
So I do not hate women at all, but what I am is more indifferent. I've been through too much in my life to be really differential.
Right. No, I understand that. You use a very important word. You use the word indifference. Right. That's fine. But the problem is, politics does not exist in a vacuum. Right. If men like you and men like me become, and if enough of us become indifferent, the other groups of men who maybe are not as affable or nice or peaceful, they're going to get a whiff of that. They're going to sense that, and they're going to realize that they can carte blanche go around doing what they want, and they will. And I think the women will
understand that.
React like they always do. They're going to cower in fear. So, and I think we're witnessing that in France now. France is a perfect example. Women are openly reporting. White French women are now openly reporting all the time. They're scared to walk the streets at night.
Yes, so they should be. Yes.
You see?
Well, yes, this is what we've been talking about for such a long time, and this is. There's a song by Radiohead, Karma Police. The end of that song, kind of with Tom York, says, "This is what you get when you mess with us." Now, taking your ball and going, let's say you're on a field with 10 girls, and you've got a crush. Let's say you're a 10-year-old and you're at school and you've got, I love her. Oh, I've got a crush. Okay, right. Okay. Now, let's say there's some couple of chads here and there, real big, like they're like, I'm the fastest dude. And all the chads, Tyrones, whoever. Sancho. I am Sancho. Okay. Let's say that all those girls made fun of you, and they did not. It happened to me a little bit, but I've had my fair share of shagging in my life. I've been able to get a bit of tail, quite a lot actually. But
great. So,
what if you just say, "Look, I'm sick of being called names and this and that and the other thing." Let's say you're 10 years old. Look, this is my ball. This was given to me by my mum and my dad, my auntie, my uncle. I'm going to take my ball and go home. You can play soccer with invisible ball. What do they do then? Well, after a while, it's going to get very boring for them. I tell you that, because they're all narcissists. Like, you got Chads and you got Karens, and they're all shallow as fuck. And you could be as big as like a 6'5" hammerhand. You could be ripped like The Rock. It doesn't matter. But you take your ball and go home if enough people. Now, I don't care whether enough people do that or not. This is why this is our sphere. This is our place. Don't care, you know. When I go outside in the street, I'm going out tonight, so I don't have to wear my dark sunglasses. When enough people do that, now this is idealism. I do not believe this will be the case. It's just going to be the big chads and the stupid shallow bitches, and they're going to mate with each other. This is called R selection, by the way, not K selection. K selection is by people with high IQs. R selection is by people who have 10, 100 children. You know, that's R
Right,
selection.
right. No, I'm very familiar. I remember watching the video by Stefan Molyneux explain it
Stefan
in
Molyneux.
detail.
Yes. So we just take our ball and go home and say, well, you guys go and, you know, F yourselves. Do what you want, and I can get. Look, it's not hard to get punyeti. It's not hard to get that. Not hard at all.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's so I can get it all the time. I don't even choose to get it. I just get sloppy toppy, and it's safer, and there's less of a chance for a venereal disease, and there's less of a chance for someone to get pregnant, and there's less of a chance. It's just I don't even have sex anymore. You know what I'm saying?
It's almost
I just go.
Yes, once in a blue moon, if you want, you know. And my country is different from your country. Remember that too, bro.
Yeah.
So it's not that I've had my fill of things and into what's the word on this public platform? Into relations. I've had my share. It doesn't bother me really. I don't need validation either. And there are many people here. There was a guy, chap. Who was it on? Shit, it was on. Excuse my language.
No, it's okay. I don't know.
It was on one of the brothers' channels, and the guy was calling all of the boys out for being incels. I can guarantee you, some of these guys.
It's all bullshit.
You've seen Hermit's Arms. You know how many women that chronic. Seen how there's a lot of boys on. This is not. We're not incels, and once again, they didn't. It was on TFM. Sorry, no, Sandman with Chronic Hammer. That's right, and someone rung up. Yeah, that's right. It was them. And
Lion of MGTOW.
Lion of MGTOW.
That was today. That was today. Yeah, that was great. Wow, those are the biggest boys. Those are all the big boys, all the big dogs. I couldn't believe it. I love it when that happens, and it's a total surprise. I'm at work. I'm surrounded by like communists and criminals, and it's all of a sudden, yeah. No, it's just sex, man. It's just, could you imagine though, someone like, I don't know, let's say like some loser, like Angler, he could like barely walk. If he was in a wheelchair, how would that work? Like, what would be the mechanics of that? Like, she would have to just sit on him. Do you know what I mean? You imagine the wheel going back and forth, because he can't walk, because he's got a fucked up leg. Anyway, yeah,
that's shocking. How dare you?
How dare I? Right? No, I get drunk and I become a different person.
Well, I tell you what, if you want to earn your brown stripes, boy, I'm going to do my best. How's my best indie? All right. How can I do indie? It's hard.
No, that guy's on another level. That guy drinks. Oh man, I imagine that guy drinks even more than Polska Bob. Trust me, honestly. Hey, I say this openly and publicly. I consider myself a friend of Polska Bob. However, I am critical of Polska Bob. I really think he drinks too much. I really do.
I'm critical of the fact that he goes to Subway at times of the morning where he's more vulnerable. I don't like that. That's not the thing. I mean, like,
yeah, that's part of it. But that what I'm saying is that's just one small part of a larger picture. He literally goes to the bar every day. He's hurting. He's disrespecting his body. He's going to be one of those guys who turns like 60 or like 61. He's going to start having problems with his liver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
the liver. The liver is renowned for being able to regenerate itself and heal itself if you just leave it alone for a while.
Yeah.
But post kebab doesn't do that. Every single day, every single night, he has a huge altercation and fight with his liver. He always ends up winning, and
Yeah.
his liver always ends up losing. So, and I just try to, you know, I'm sorry
No,
to go
you're,
along.
you're good, Cowboy. Yeah. Well, what we can do in this sphere, how many stories have I told? I've told a few.
Yeah, you told a few, yeah, especially the ones
Um,
the ones I wanted to hear the most about were your son. And you told me some good stories about your son. I didn't
listen.
know. I didn't know that you had partial custody of your son until he was 11. That's good. That's a good base. You know?
Excuse me.
No,
I
it's okay. You should bribe your son to come and live with you again, just to make sure you're around him more.
Yeah, let me think. Chris Mitchell, you know Chris Mitchell, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Chris told a story which is basically, now I'm not speaking at a school and not speaking on his behalf, with all respect to Chris, but his story kind of similar. You can see. This is why it's like anglers. Come on, get your act together. Hurry up, brother. With all humor and stuff like that. All it takes. Look, the narcissist even made my own parents and my own sister and my family against me with lies.
Sure.
The narcissist pretends to be a Christian. This is why I do not attend church. This is why I'm like Johnny Depp. She'll never hear my voice again. This is why she narrowly escaped a bad thing. And I do know how to end things very well. Very well. But that's gone. That's a long time ago now. I'm basically ambivalent now. Ambivalent is a good word. And that is what happened with my case. But you see, it took 18 years to realize. I just showed you a photo. Here, look, I better not do that. I've got a photo of my son in my wallet. Now, he is his own man now. Sometimes you must let them be what they want to be. I give him money, lots of money, a lot of money. And in fact, he just got some more money. Let's just say 500, right? It's only Kiwi dollars. No, okay, 5. Let's just say 5 squid. Okay. But the thing is, you remember that old trite saying? What is it? How did it go? If you love somebody, and I'm talking about my son now, not the bitch, cunt face, fucking whore. If you love somebody, set them free. If they come back, then they're yours. If they never come back, then they were never yours to begin with. Well, I live on that principle pretty much. And so look, I'm. Am I here by myself? I think I am. Oh no, you're back. Who's D-Man? Is it? No. D-Man. Oh right. Son is 13, almost 14 now. But is that you, D-Man? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no. You see D-Man. He's in the chat now. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So look, I better let you go, Cowboy. But is it Cowboy still? You've lost your hat, mate. You lost your.
Oh yeah. No, I'm here. Yeah, that's fine. This is a good time to end it. We're approaching the 4-hour mark. If I remember correctly, I had 4 hours and 12 minutes left on my StreamYard account. So this is pretty much perfect. So that's good. Just quickly, I wanted to tell you one more story. There's this loser called MGTOW Matty. And
you keep going on about him.
He had to pay tens and tens and tens of thousands of dollars, because he was stupid and he married this woman, and so he lost everything and he lost years of his life and he had to work real hard for nothing, and but he trusted a woman. It's hard for me to hold it against him, but let me just put it this way: he definitely paid for his mistakes.
Well, yeah, I see him in the chat. I don't watch the chat at the moment, but I watch you and I watch
Oh yeah, he's in the chat. No, he hears us. He knows what he did. I remember one time I was watching a video of his, and he
he accidentally ran into a kangaroo going like 40 kilometers an hour.
Okay.
And the thing, it just bounced off. It just bounced off the hood of his car. It was the funniest thing. It was the funniest thing. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'll cut it off right there. Gentlemen, I'm sorry. I got to let you guys go. It's just after 5 a.m. here in Chicago. And I do work tomorrow, although I only work half a day, which is really nice. Uh-oh, I'm going to sneeze right now. Hold on.
Gesundheit.
Excuse me.
Gesundheit.
All right. I'm so sorry. Gentlemen, I'm going to end it here. I wish you all well. And yeah, it was great. I didn't plan on doing this. And I always lie to myself and say, oh, I'm only going to do like an hour. Next thing you know, Mr. Forma calls in. Next thing you know, Frank calls in. One thing turns into another. But I got to end it now. I'll leave it there. Frank, it was a pleasure. We should actually do this again in a better version, a less inebriated version of myself. So I'll get at you, okay?
Thank you, Cowboy. God bless you, my friend, and just take care and have a good day. Okay, have a good sleep.
Yeah. And remember, just because Angler MGTOW cannot walk, just doesn't mean that you can't. You can. Remember that.
I'm going to drive. I'm driving
Only
in 45 minutes.
Only he's fucked. You're not fucked. He's fucked. All right, guys, take care. This was the MGTOW Cowboy. If you like my content, please like, please comment, please subscribe, and please share. I'll leave it there, and you gentlemen take care.